he is as a football player. Again, when you have guys that are tough and love football, that makes a team special.
Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renify.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Missanelli Show. I am here to declare Sirianni Day. Yes. It'll be Nick Sirianni Day. We've been planning this for a while. We've just been holding off till we get to a point where it's time to really dig into and reveal the merits of a head coach who has led his team to this lofty height. The lofty height being that they're going into a playoff game that they should win, which means they should play for the NFC Championship. If you look at the literature that's come out about that, there are different people that have different feelings about whether the Eagles can actually get to the Super Bowl or win that Super Bowl. That's down the road. But right now we deal with what is. And what is, and this is also, it's Nick Sirianni Day, but it's also Bill Day. Because there will never be a better time for Bill Colarulo with the facts and figures that he has in front of him to dig into how we have shortchanged the head coach of this Philadelphia Eagles team. And if you want to read a delightful story that substantiates that, read Tim McManus' story today on ESPN.com about how this coach bonds with his players. Bill has been saying it all year that they play for this guy. I have been on the other side of that because I'm a cynic. And I say they don't play for the head coach. They're not playing a football game saying, I really want to win this for Nick. But what I've learned through this story and through the statistics that Bill is going to provide us today is that he makes it comfortable enough for those guys to play at their best. In a lot of ways, he's a bizarro Charlie Manuel. That was the essence of Charlie Manuel's success. He created some kind of culture where it's like those guys felt comfortable enough to go out there and believe in themselves as individual players. And I think you can make the same case for Nick. I can't believe I'm saying this. You can make the same case for saying that Nick Sirianni has done the same thing because the facts are what they are. The record is what it is. They won a game last week not playing their best, but they keep winning. And all the guy does, can I say this? All the guy does is win.
All I do is win, no matter what.
I love it, Ray. I love it. All right, so listen. Everything is fluid here on the show. I reserve, you reserve, Ray reserves, even Bill reserves the right to change our mind if they fall on their face. But for right now, I think it's fairly evident that we'd be doing a good service for the people and the fan base to declare this Nick Sirianni Worship Day. and even in the face even of people who are backlashing against this concept, because there are still people out there that don't want to give this coach credit. I proceed this season with eyes wide open, not eyes wide shut. I told you, I called this guy when things were looking rocky early in the season. I called him a goof. And then there was a metamorphosis that happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't care how it happened. But if you read this story, and we're going to go over highlights of this story about the personal touches that this guy imparts on his players to the point where they feel comfortable. And again, they're not going out there facing the third and eighth. I want to stop this for Nick. They're doing that for themselves. They're doing that for their position coaches. They're doing that for their teammates. But you can't ignore the fact that somehow and somewhere along the line, this man has made it comfortable in the locker room for those guys not to be angst-filled and to focus on one thing, which is to go out and play your best. And playing your best, if you're a talented player, usually is going to win some games. So, Bill, on the other side, and we'll get to a break, and you're going to hear from Nick Sirianni today on Nick Sirianni Worship Day. But after the break, you're going to provide some facts and figures. I'm going to provide some personal touch stories that will set up this whole day to worship Nick Sirianni. And it happens to be on General Knowledge Wednesday day. So I assume we'll get a lot of phone calls, either pro Nick or blanching against the stuff that we're going to say. because we have really good prizes today to give away. We have a pair of tickets for the Sixers, where if you're lucky enough, they may put out the same dynamic starting lineup that they put out last night, or tickets to the Metallica concert that is coming up in May? May, yeah.
I think it's May.
It's May. So there you go, and we'll give you the topics after this, but it should be an exciting show today. Nick Sirianni Worship Day, and you don't want to miss a minute of it, right, Bill?
You're not going to want to miss it because I'm going to hit you with some stats coming up next.
Exactly.
That's going to change your opinion if you're a hater.
And this is your last chance to get to Bill this week.
That is correct.
Because he is now on maternity leave starting after this show today. So here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. Nick Sirianni Worship Day. Either you're going to choke on your coffee or you're going to swallow it and swallow that gulp of coffee with a big smile on your face because you're totally satisfied. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Nick Sirianni Worship Day on top of General Knowledge Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this. right, it's 10:11. Mike Missanelli Show. The general knowledge categories for today. Yeah, this is a pretty good prize, man. You get Sixer tickets, and you go, I want to play in Cleveland. Sixer tickets for the Cleveland game. That's not bad.
No, it's a good game.
So one winner gets a pair of Sixers tickets. One winner gets a pair of Metallica tickets for their Friday, May 23rd concert at Lincoln Financial Field. This is a big concert, man.
I think I would go to that show. I've never seen Metallica live. I think that would be a pretty cool show to see. This is probably, you would think, maybe their last show ever. They're getting up there, aren't they?
Now, if you don't win the Metallica tickets today, they go on sale this Friday. Ticketmaster. They're playing two concerts, May 23rd, May 25th. Tickets we have are the first concert. And it's a no-repeat weekend. Two different sets. They'll be performing in the round at the 50-yard line. How about that? In the round.
That'll be pretty
at
cool.
At the 50-yard line. The last concert I saw in the round was at the old Valley Forge Music Fair. You remember that place?
Do not.
You don't remember Valley Forge Music Fair? They had a rotating stage.
Don't remember.
All right, that was the only place I had ever seen a rotating stage, and it was It was like the rotation of the Earth. Very, very slow, and you could hardly tell.
That's slightly disappointing. It's cool that they're doing two different sets, but if you go on a night they don't play Enter the Sandman. Enter Sandman.
No, they're probably playing
great song.
I would guess they would play that both nights. But let me give you their different opening band each night.
Who's the opening band? Yeah, who do we got?
Now, again, I'd be willing to offer earplugs for either one of these opening bands.
Was it like Pantera?
It is Pantera. Pantera is correct.
That was a guess.
And are you ready for this? Limp Bizkit.
Oh, man. Limp Bizkit. So
if you don't like either of those, nobody doesn't like Metallica, but if you don't like, I'll give you Mike Missanelli issued earplugs for the opening, and then you can just, eat food and drink beer or whatever you want to do.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit and Pantera blowing you out before Metallica takes the stage.
Jeez. All right, so what are our topics? You didn't get
The topics are general knowledge, which Ray has no chance. Again, you got to beat Ray. NFL passing leaders, passing champions since 1970.
He's got a shot with that.
Got a shot, but again, we're going to go back to 1970. This proves that even if you weren't born then, you could still kind of get it once I give you a hint.
Got it.
And then finally, back to movie characters.
Oh, he's screwed. He's got nothing. You're done, Ray.
So Ray needs to take advantage of every NFL question. If you don't get an NFL question right, you're going to lose today because you suck in general knowledge, even though you're a brilliant guy, and you suck in movie characters.
Yeah, he's taken that big brain that he has, and he's only put it into sports knowledge, which is fine because he does it for a living. So you're fine, Ray.
I did have this conversation with my friend on the way to the Sixers game last night. What if I had decided to do literally anything else with my brain, just aside from sports information in it?
You probably would have cured cancer by now, but no. You do this instead.
This is my my service to society.
And as a side note to this show, as if it wasn't already fun-filled and packed with knowledge, we are going to go Dr. Seuss today.
Yeah.
We're going to have a rapper version of a Dr. Seuss book. This should prove to you that if you're a good enough rapper, you have a good enough beat, even Dr. Seuss books can sound good. And also, we're dipping back in the past, staying with Dr. Seuss, where Jesse Jackson reads Green Eggs and Ham.
It's going to be a fun show.
It's going to be an unbelievable show today.
My last show of the week, because I will be out on paternity, not maternity. You said maternity. I will be out on maternity for hopefully only 2 days, be back Monday. But it is Nick Sirianni worship day.
You're out for maternity, too.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's,
I want to take care of her.
She's a major part of it. So, yeah, her maternity and your paternity will be.
Sounds good. But here's what I really want to know today. And we'll do the general knowledge and we'll do all that. But here's really what I want to know from our listeners. If people who have hated on Nick Sirianni, who have continuously moved the goalposts further and further and further to what they would consider a successful season for this guy, are ready to admit that they were wrong and acknowledge that he is a good coach. And I'm going to hit you with facts throughout the day That should get you to come over to my side of the aisle on this. But I'm still getting it, Mike. I'm still getting people messaging me saying, oh, talk to me after February 9th. Oh, talk to me after this weekend. Oh, he's just a puppet. He doesn't do anything. I could coach that team. Really? I mean, how much more do we have to see from this guy before people are willing to admit we have a good football coach in the city of Philadelphia right now?
Why is it important to you that people admit they're wrong? What do you get out of that? People don't like to admit they're wrong. Why would you like to force them to say that? Because really, they're not wrong.
Because with Nick Sirianni, it went farther than I don't know if he's a good coach. It went to the point where people have called him a clown, where people have called him a goof, including yourself, where people have said that they wanted him fired all offseason. It was a mistake bringing him back.
Yeah. But at the time, see, this is the thing you do, Bill. At the time, it was pretty accurate to criticize. It was accurate. So people don't have to apologize for an impression that they have at a particular time. Now, can that impression change? Yeah. But it's not like they have to say they were wrong at the time they were criticizing him, because they weren't wrong.
So then maybe don't have to admit you're wrong. How about you admit that there's nothing that he can do to win you back? Because if at this point...
No, but there's always something. If they win the Super Bowl, isn't that winning them back?
But do you think that it's fair that the only way that this guy could win you back is to win a Super Bowl? I mean, the fact that the team went 14-3, the fact that they had a franchise record, 10 straight wins, they won the NFC East, they've already won one playoff game, they battled adversity even before the season started. In the middle of the season, you had Brandon Graham airing dirty laundry about Hurts and A.J. Brown. He handled that, no problem. They didn't miss a beat. He now has the third highest winning percentage in the Super Bowl era.
Here's my answer to that. Yes, it is fair. It is fair. Because you're judged on a day-by-day basis when you don't have the overall clout that would put the fan base off. So they're still judging the guy because, frankly, you can cite all the stats you want. There are things that are still missing to certain people. That's fair. Now, they may get shown up. Is it fair to say that he's only going to be accepted that he win the Super Bowl? No, that's not fair because they may lose to a better team. And smart people will realize that.
Yeah, but you just said he doesn't have the clout.
He doesn't.
He has the third best winning percentage in the Super Bowl era.
But a guy like that has been climbing up a mountain. That's why he doesn't have the clout yet. He hasn't arrived at the mountain peak for a lot of different reasons. So people still want to hold off. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to our text board. We'll get to our phone calls. It is Nick Sirianni Worship Day, and Bill dives deep into the stats after this.
Fanatic.
It is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5, the Fanatics official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC divisional round matchup between the Eagles and Rams. The storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan, met with the media yesterday, addressed that passing game.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
Obviously something they're working on as they lead up to Sunday's 3 o'clock kickoff against the Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action tonight against the Knicks. You can hear it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And the Flyers fell last night in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. This update's also brought to you by Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269 will be accepting applications starting January 1st until March 31st at IBEW269.com. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, let's kick it off. Nick Sirianni Worship Day. I'm Mike Missanelli. Bill Colarulo with us. Ray Dunn with us. General Knowledge Wednesday, where it features beating Ray for some good prizes. Dr. Seuss. This is going to be a mind-blowing show today, so you don't want to miss it. So let's start it off first by going to our text board, and then we'll get to Bill and his fascinating statistical dig into Nick Sirianni. Ray, the text board, first of all, disrespecting me by calling me a different name than my name really is.
Yeah. Mike Miss Sirianni.
Mike Miss Sirianni.
Yeah.
So they're calling me, where do I get the Sirianni? I am just hosting. I'm like Jerry Springer hosting a free-for-all here. Where do I get the mantle of Mike Miss Sirianni?
Oh, a lot of syrup coming from you today for Nick Sirianni. You're coming around, man. You're coming around.
I'm setting you up for the syrup. I'm merely declaring it Nick Sirianni Worship Day because you're going to justify it.
Listen, you can deny it all you want.
It's not like I'm saying...
Admit it. You love the guy.
I don't love the guy.
You love him.
I don't love the guy. But what I can come to a conclusion with after reading information from people who cover the guy, who have studied this whole thing, is that it's not that they play for him. It's that he somehow makes them comfortable enough to play at their best.
Which is important.
It's totally important.
Yeah, it's very important. And the article you're referring to from McManus was a great article.
It really was, and we'll get into specifics of that in a minute. But first, a challenge for Bill on the text board.
Yeah, we got a challenge for Bill, and then we got people on both sides of Bill. We'll start with the challenge here. I bet $100 that Bill could blindfold himself and read that entire yellow legal notepad blind of Nick Sirianni stats.
They're probably not wrong on that.
All right. Yeah, listen, Bill was tipping this off yesterday. During every commercial, he was such in a Twitter about this whole thing and talking about it today that he was just so excited, Ray. You could have seen him. He was just fidgeting all over the place. So, Bill, let's start it off with some of these things that you feel the audience needs to know about Nick Sirianni.
All right, so here's some Sirianni love for people that doesn't include my bad voice singing a song. So he's just the sixth coach in NFL history, sixth in NFL history to advance to the playoffs in each of his first 4 career seasons, joining the likes of John Harbaugh, Bill Cowher, John Robinson, Chuck Knox, and Paul Brown. Some pretty good company. Also, he has produced the third best winning percentage by a head coach in the Super Bowl era. He's third behind John Madden and George Allen. He also now is second for most regular season victories in his first 4 seasons behind only George Seifert. This guy is doing things that when you put him up to the other coaches who have done it, you're talking about Hall of Fame coaches. You're talking about coaches that had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So I don't want to continuously hear, oh, it's just because of all the talent he has on his roster. Yeah, he has a lot of talent on his roster, but we've seen coaches with talented rosters never have the level of success that Nick Sirianni has had in his first 4 years. And I think it's time that we stop hating on the man and we start appreciating what we have in the city of Philadelphia, because we've seen bad coaches before. You've seen it not only here in this city, but you've seen it around the National Football League. You got a good coach whose players like him, whose players connect with him. And even through adversity, even coming off of a season where people were calling for his job, the quarterback not throwing support behind him in the offseason, people started making a big deal about that. The Cleveland Browns game after the bye, people were coming at him after that. Brandon Graham airing the dirty laundry between Hurts and A.J. Brown, he handled that. The guy just continuously has shown he can handle adversity, and all they do is win. It's time to give him his flowers. And it doesn't matter what happens this weekend. I've had people already reaching out to me. Wait until after this weekend or wait until after the Super Bowl. Stop moving the goalposts. The guy's a good football coach. He's going to get an extension, and we're lucky to have him. And I have more stats for you coming up.
Oh. Hell yeah. So much good.
Well, listen.
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
Here's as far as I will go. He's doing something right. I don't know exactly, nor do I think the majority of people know exactly what that is. But maybe we don't need to know what that is. Maybe we just don't need to know, because I think you have to come to an agreement that he is doing something right. Whether it is the simplest thing as making your players feel good about themselves so they can deliver their best. All right? So when I said I had my eyeballs wide open coming into this year because I would not have brought him back, I think I've been very fair in my assessment of Nick Sirianni. I don't go as far as Nick Sirianni worship, but I will acknowledge that he has done something right. Is that good enough for you?
I think he's done a lot of things right. I don't think you've gone far enough.
Will you accept? I haven't gone far enough?
No, I don't think he's done something right. I think he's done a lot of things right. You don't get to 14-3. Only coach in franchise history, by the way, with multiple 14-win seasons.
So much good.
I didn't say some things right. I said something right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
you
okay.
should be saying
two
multiple
words.
things, not something.
No,
he's not just doing one
general
thing.
Concept, I mean something. Like not one thing. Like general concept. I can't deny that he has done something right to generate this kind of success.
Something as one word, not two words.
Right.
And I think
One
you
word.
need to pluralize it. It needs to be some things.
So you want two words?
Yeah, I want
things.
multiple
You're
things.
changing the context of my word by putting an S on it. All right, because then you make it singular and an S on it, which means I have to list things. As a general concept, I'm trying to go with here.
Something right.
That's as far as I can go. The general concept, which I think you should accept from me. I know that you want more.
Let me
you
give
want me more as an ally to share that foxhole with you.
Let me give you more.
Oh, no, more? All right, go ahead. Give me more.
There's been
so much good.
Now, I know this is a little bit skewed because they play 17 games now. Mm-hmm. Although Sirianni, I guess he won his 14th game in the 17th game. This is a little bit skewed, but still, I'm going to make a point. He's only the 7th NFL coach to win 14-plus games multiple times. You want to hear the other 6 coaches who have won 14-plus multiple times?
No.
Bill Belichick. You're going to hear him anyway. Bill Belichick. Well, he had Tom Brady. Andy Reid. Well, he has Patrick Mahomes. George Seifert, who had Steve Young and Joe Montana. Mike Ditka, who had the greatest defense maybe you've ever seen. Joe Gibbs and Don Shula. Well, Shula had Marino. They went 17-0 that season, but not with Marino. Who did he have in that year? Who was the 17-0 quarterback? We know that? Isn't that interesting?
Don Strock?
It's interesting. I always know the 72 Dolphins were perfect. I don't remember who the damn quarterback was. And who'd Joe Gibbs have as quarterback back then? When they won the Super Bowl.
What year was it?
I don't know who he had.
Billy Kilmer?
That's a good question.
All right, you made your point.
No, I'm saying it just said all these numbers that you throw out with Sirianni.
Yeah.
We're not, because I saw someone in the YouTube chat say, oh, well, Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl without being a good coach. He had all that talent. All right, maybe that's one example. But when we're talking about through the first 4 seasons of somebody's career, the stats that Nick Sirianni has put out there, you're not hearing about Barry Switzer. You're not hearing about these bad coaches. You're hearing about Hall of Fame level coaches.
Why do you think it is that national people don't exemplify the points that you just made? What is it?
It's
what
his
is
personality.
it that holds everybody back?
It's his personality.
His personality?
Yeah, well, he's to use your word, you called him a goof. Mm-hmm. He's going to mug for the camera. Uh-huh. He's going to taunt players.
Yeah.
He's he's going to talk about his brother and Mount Union.
Not the conventional professional sideline NFL head coach.
He is not.
Okay.
But it works.
All right. On the other side, our first caller, Richard from Marsville, loves how Nick gets the team to buy in. So on Nick Sirianni Worship Day, we're going to kick off our first caller who believes it. The Mike Missanelli Show continues. 40, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, I want to get to the phone calls here. We got a lot of people that are calling in. Of course, it is general knowledge today. So if you get a question correctly, you qualify for a pretty good prize. The Sixers against the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers is one prize. Tickets to the Metallica concert at Lincoln Financial Field in late spring is another good prize today. And I think Ray is just easy meat today. He's not keeping up with these categories today.
Nah, not movie characters.
It's not going to happen.
Not movie characters.
Well, the general knowledge as well. I'm looking at the general knowledge categories. This is not Ray's day. Sorry, Ray. Did you read at least the motivational book? Did it come to you yet for this day? You haven't gotten it yet?
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, I could use some of the passages right now.
Today.
Did you see your buddy on the Fox 29 morning show? Did you see how they opened their show yesterday?
Yeah, they were reading the book, yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That book's a number one seller now.
Yeah.
Guy's making some bank from it.
Good for him. It's awesome. Wrote it in 2009.
Yeah. Lessons that stay with you 15 years later.
Hey, look, The Art of War still gets sold.
It's a great point.
All right, let's
Did you ever
go.
read that?
Nope.
Isn't that where keep your friends close but your enemies closer's from? I think so.
Well, there you go. That was the lesson I took from it. Didn't even need to read it.
Who wrote that book? The Art of War.
Shih Tzu or something like that.
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah,
The dog
something
wrote it.
like that.
Yeah.
No, Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu is correct. Good work. Richard in Marsville, our first caller. Richard.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Great
Rich.
book, The Art of War. It's an incredible book. And yes, it does teach you how to use your enemies to win your war. That's essentially what it is.
There you go.
So
I've been using my enemies all my life. I haven't won a war yet. And I got a lot of enemies. All right, go ahead, Rich.
all right, so I would love to deep dive into the stats, Bill. This is where I'm sitting there over and over again. It's not what we're used to in Philadelphia. It's hard to embrace, and I just remembering the issues that occurred and looking at this guy as somebody that says, I'm not going to be a victim of circumstance or past. And it's a bright and shiny feeling, and it's just hard to understand and accept. I was listening to Bill reading the stats and saying the company that he's in, and I want to double down. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be here for the long haul, and I think that we're going to win the Super Bowl with this coach more than once. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I believe. I believe his culture is intoxicating, and these guys are laughing it up. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I love it, Rich. I'm with you 100%, man. I think it is all about culture. Culture is important, especially with the modern athlete, Mike. This isn't the athletes from 15, 20 years ago. I think culture is extremely, extremely important. And listen, we praise nationally Mike Tomlin all the time for being this great coach. The guy has not won a playoff game since 2016. Nick Sirianni in the last 4 years has 3 playoff wins. But yet there are a ton of people out there who would say Mike Tomlin's a great coach, Sirianni's a clown. Wasn't it about success?
Well, I bet you also need a resume. You also need a resume.
Yeah, but doesn't he have a resume?
Yeah, the resume is not totally
He's been to a
complete yet.
Super Bowl.
The resume.
He's won 2 NFC East championships.
It has a couple of items on it, but it doesn't have 15 years worth of items.
Yeah, but he's got 4 playoff apperances, 2 NFC East championships, a Super Bowl appearance. What else does he need to do?
All right. I got you.
Real quick, Mike, can I go back and past and ask you a question? You remember the feeling that we felt when we were going into that Carolina Panthers game? The feeling we felt when we went into that Atlanta Falcons championship game that we were going to win. Yeah. That was the feeling going into the game, was we were going to win and we were going to progress. Do you get that same feeling now with Sirianni, or do you feel differently?
I feel the same with Sirianni, except when you get to the Detroit game, which I then have to reevaluate.
Mike, real quick.
Yeah.
I think I don't think Washington's going to end up upsetting.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. All right, that's just wishful thinking. All right, let me give you a general knowledge question. This starts things off against Ray. It is from the category of general knowledge. Who shot Greedo inside the cantina?
Oh man, Who shot? Not Guido? You said Greedo?
Greedo. Greedo. No, not Guido. Greedo.
I'm gonna have to. I can't defer.
No, you can't defer. You're out.
Oh my goodness! I'm the Godfather.
Sorry.
The Godfather.
0 for 1. That, of course, is a Star Wars question. Ray, did you have that one?
I actually didn't.
Han Solo shot Greedo inside the cantina.
You know, Bill looks like Han today.
What, with the vest?
Yeah, Han Solo look from you today.
I'm getting killed on the YouTube chat for my vest. Somebody said I looked like I'm in the Hall & Oates band.
No, you looked. That was actually the look I thought when you came in, Han Solo.
What's wrong with the vest?
Oh, I like it. It's a good look.
Looks like Han Solo.
I wear that kind of vest every now and then. Maybe not inside, but
yeah, no, it's always a little chilly in the.
Is that why you got it
in the studio? Yeah, I mean, I could take it off and show the guns if I want. Yeah. By the way, speaking of the guns,
you want to defend the guy, and then he makes it
the funny thing was,
frankly, I'm shocked that you haven't taken off the vest.
Right. The funny thing
another
is,
tight-fitting shirt.
We were at Rally House on Friday, so a few of our listeners came over to say hello and stop by. Alfie from Abington stopped by.
Oh, what's up, Alfie?
And all he said to me was, you're not that big in person.
I thought you'd be bigger.
You look bigger on YouTube.
Yeah, of course, that's the line from Roadhouse.
So I went home. I went home and did 100 curls.
Of course you did. You were very offended.
2 protein bars.
That whole thing. But let's get to the business. Ray? What does the M stand for in ICBM?
Management.
No. ICBM is Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, Ray.
Yeah. Yep.
But my question to that is, if intercontinental is one word, why is it ICBM?
Because IBM got the right to it.
Sorry. That's a shame that wasn't the question.
That was smart on Ray's part.
Guess what? It's 0-0.
That's all right.
Let's go to Ish in Levittown. Ish, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
How you doing, Ish?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm glad we're having this day. I think Nick deserves this day. Bill, you have been spot on since last season about how we should keep him. I think Nick should get a lot of credit for a lot of things. He has a 2,000-yard rusher. The team plays for him, and I think he has like a secret sauce, like a ragu type of sauce that nobody knows what it is, but it works for his players. And I appreciate Nick Sirianni. I think he should be here for the long time coming, and all the fans should get behind him. Even you, Mike. I hope he has changed your mind, because you have called for his job back in the day, and I hope he's changed your mind. And I do want a general knowledge question.
I didn't call for his job. I said I wouldn't have brought him back after that disaster finished last year.
Well, that's basically calling for his
Not
job.
really calling for his job.
No, it's calling for his job.
I had to make a decision. He wouldn't be back. But I also have been very fair in saying I would study the entire season. And right now, I don't have anything bad to say about the guy.
Okay, I have a question. So, would it have been bad if Nick Sirianni had went 17-0 and went to the Super Bowl and lost, or that he went 10 straight games? Would you have fired him in either of those moments?
Well, no. That's not a negative stat you just gave me. You're losing the Super Bowl can happen if the other team is better. Winning 10 straight games, why would I fire him after that? I don't understand what your question is.
Well,
I would not have brought him back because of the collapse and the nature of the collapse that he was unable to influence in the positive. I think that's a very fair reason for me to say that.
But now do you look back and say that would have been the wrong decision? Bringing him back was the right decision.
Well, if that's what the conclusion is, then yeah, I guess. But
I want you to admit it.
I guess.
Bringing him back was the right call.
Okay. It was the right call. Maybe they got lucky. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think you can use maybe with it, because he's had a successful
all right. Well, they did get lucky. All right. No. All right. Listen.
Okay,
all right, Ish. Here's your general knowledge question, brother.
Okay.
We're gonna actually go. This NFL passings champion question, And you got to know. See, it's like I can give you the pro team that you play with, but that would be too easy. So I can't give you the team this person played with. So I will go to this category right here. In 2011, the quarterback threw for 5,476 yards for a certain team in the NFC. This particular quarterback went to Purdue University.
Oh, Drew Brees.
That's correct.
Yeah, I had it before.
Ish. First in line for Metallica. Or the Sixers. Ray? In 1993, this person threw for 4,030 yards to lead the AFC. He played in the Pac-10.
93. Played in the
Pac-10 AFC, 4,030 yards. Ooh. Considered one of the all-time greats.
Dan Marino.
Did Dan Marino play in the Pac-10?
No, I don't know.
I'm not a college
guy.
I would say, if I had to guess,
I gotta know.
Would it be John Elway?
John Elway would be correct.
There you go.
The audience won. Ray, nothing so far. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Analyzing the passing game. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC Divisional Round matchup between the Eagles and Rams. The storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan. Met with the media yesterday, addressing that passing game.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
We'll see if his offense can figure it out Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action tonight against the Knicks. You can hear it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Flyers fell last night in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Vacation, business trip.
I'm so glad this song is playing right now because as we go into the top of the hour, I just want to get this off my chest and mention it. Last night, the Sixers trotted out a starting lineup of the following. Gershon Yabusele, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, Ricky Council IV, Kelly Oubre.
Sounds like a solid starting five.
Now, I just want to say this, okay? Because I was active on Twitter about this last night. People were going, whoa, they're hurt. In order not to embarrass the franchise, which is paying you well, or completely cheat a fan base, which is going to show up at that game about 17,000 strong, can anyone have enough selflessness to say, you know what, I'm a little banged up, but I'm going to give it a shot. I got to give it a shot. I'll play tonight. Most of these injuries, these guys that sat out last night, are the nature of one game type of injuries, rest type of injuries. You mean to tell me that somebody on that team can't look at the landscape of that and go, it's not right for me not to play tonight? Maybe I'm a wishful thinker, but are you kidding me? I just get so annoyed and I lose my edge.
Yeah, man, I'm out of words. I'm out of it. It's Ray was down there last night. I mean, Ray, that had to be fun, right?
I was livid. The entire first half.
Now, look, people go, well, they played hard. They made it a game in the third quarter. It became exciting. It's really not the point, okay?
I don't know. A lot of people saying that.
There were a few. The point is that, like, I know athletes have changed in their mindset. I know there's a medical staff that advises them. I'm going, come on, man. It's a one-game injury. Look at what you have to put on the floor. And as it turns out, the stars of the game are Justin Edwards and Jeff Downton Jr. And I'm going, why do we have to get to that level of embarrassment where you throw out that kind of starting lineup for people who have bought tickets for this game, for this season, for these people, and now have to sell them at $3? All right, I got it off my chest. It's 11 o'clock. You are listening to WPEN and WPEN HD, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. I have declared this as Nick Sirianni Worship Day. And so we start the 11 o'clock hour with some more worship. Story by Tim McManus, ESPN.com today, goes over the ways that the head coach has tried and attempted and succeeded to connect with his players so as they feel good about being part of the Philadelphia Eagles. First story is about Jordan Mailata saying that Nick Sirianni comes up to him and say, hey, come up and see me in my office when you have the time. And the first reaction Mailata has is, bleep, what did I do wrong? And he gets there and Sirianni says, have a seat. You're not in trouble. I just want to see how you're doing. How's Dad doing? Because he knew that Mailata's father, Tuipai, had suffered a heart attack on the plane ride back to Australia after going to Arizona to see his son play in the Super Bowl. And there are stories throughout this story that Nick Sirianni sends these little personal notes to people, puts them in their locker, and all that kind of thing. Now, that might not mean a hell of a lot to everybody else, but apparently it means a lot to players. And so when you say they play for him, it's not that they play for him. It's that he makes it feel good about that he knows about their life and is concerned about their life. And, Bill, you talk about that kind of relationship enduring, And apparently that does. So here I am going again to the Sirianni side of it, where I relate him to a bizarro Charlie Manuel.
You're coming around, man. But like that article by McManus is so good, and I encourage everybody to read it on ESPN.com. And Tim will be joining us on Friday like he does every week. Because when he talks about how he connects with Jordan Mailata about his dad, he talks about how Rick Lovato, the long snapper, him and his wife were having some problems getting pregnant. He related to him about that. Milton Williams talked about how when his mom was diagnosed with cancer, Sirianni related to him about that, kept checking in to see how his mom was doing. The personal notes that get put into people's lockers. This is what I have said about Nick Sirianni from the beginning. He's genuine and he's authentic. And that's what pro players want from their coach. Don't be someone you are not. But when you're real and you can connect with people on a real level the way Sirianni does, it does go a long way to getting the best out of your players. And that's why the haters on Sirianni who say, oh, it's just he's got a talented roster. There is so much more to being a coach in the NFL than just having a talented roster. He gets the best out of his players, and it's time that we recognize it. We're lucky to have him as a coach. We really are. It's no longer should he come back or should he not. Fans should feel lucky that we have Nick Sirianni.
We're lucky to have him now.
We are lucky.
We're lucky
to have him.
There you go. All right. This is where I go, okay. Now we're lucky to have him.
We are lucky. And that's
Bill,
why I said
you're unwavering. He's just dug in today.
Well,
I love it.
listen. I the reason I'm gloating a little is I put my neck out there a little bit this summer supporting Nick Sirianni when most didn't. You know, most people on the station thought, like Mike, that you probably shouldn't bring the guy back after what happened. And I said, no, I think if you really take a step back and look at the big picture here, there's been a lot more good than bad in his first 3 seasons. And I'll go back to it. That epic collapse that everyone wants to cite to under Sirianni's watch, he was only the 3rd coach ever to go to a Super Bowl and lose both coordinators. And the reason why that was so important is when you get to a Super Bowl and then your coordinators leave, you're behind the 8 ball, Mike, one of my favorite sayings. You're behind the 8 ball in doing the search of who you're going to get in the door. You're not going to get the best crop of coordinators to interview. They lost Fangio last year when Jonathan Gannon pulled the bait and switch on him. They had to go with Brian Johnson. Maybe he wasn't the right guy for the job. There were a lot of factors that played into the Eagles losing down the stretch the way they did, and it would have been a knee-jerk reaction to move on. To Lurie's credit, and Jeffrey Lurie, this is what I think makes him such a good owner. It's the reason why the Eagles franchise is as successful as they are. He didn't knee-jerk. That would have been the easy thing. Make the fans happy. Let's get this guy out of here. He took a step back and said, no, we're going to double down. We're going to bring in good coordinators, and we're going to support the head coach. And now look where we are, 14-3, NFC East champs, playoff win. They're 5.5, now 6.5-point favorites in the divisional round with a matchup against Dan Campbell, hopefully, coming in the NFC Championship.
If there was ever a day of sports talk radio specifically made for Bill Colarulo, it's today. Let's go to Josh in Belmar. Josh, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Josh.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, Josh?
Look, I'm with Bill here. We really are lucky to have Sirianni as our coach. I mean, who out there would we replace him with that could do what he's done in the first, he's been like 4 years now?
Correct.
Well, I don't know. There's always a guy.
Stop.
There's always a guy. I mean, you know, who else would we? Somebody, some unknown guy could maybe have done the same thing. Who knows? You don't know.
I don't know. But I really think this, is it weird I'm not even concerned really about the Rams coming up this Sunday? I felt more concerned going into the Packers game than I did this game.
Yeah, I didn't. I think the Rams are going to be a viable opponent here. Now, I think the Eagles are going to win the game, but I think the Rams are going to play harder than the Packers did.
I think, honestly, Saquon breaks 200 again and Eagles win by over 14.
You think he goes over for 200?
I think he goes over 200 again.
Yeah. I'm not seeing that, but I think they'll win the game. All right, Josh, let's go with general knowledge. The audience is up 1-0. Movie characters, this one is. They're from sports movies. If I give you the name of the character Rod Tidwell, what's the movie?
Rod Tidwell.
Rod Tidwell, wide receiver.
I got nothing. I'm gonna guess Little Giants.
That's incorrect.
Little Giants.
Rod Tidwell is the show me the money guy from Jerry Maguire, played by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, man. Ray, would you have gotten that one?
Nope, but great movie. Have seen that one.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
Oh. And you wouldn't have got Rod Tidwell.
Watched it once 5 years ago, probably.
All
6
right.
years ago.
Ray, here is your question. Kelly Leak. Baseball.
A League of Their Own.
Incorrect. The Bad News Bears,
Oh,
Ray.
Yeah.
You've
15
seen
years.
that, right?
15 years ago. Yeah.
All right. The stringy, the blonde hair kid. The only one who could play, really. He was a stud, Kelly Leak. You had that, Bill?
I did not. But
You didn't have it either?
I'm also laughing at our YouTube chat because
What?
when you did the Jerry Maguire, somebody said Nick Sirianni had Bill at hello.
That was the first movie that, what was her name? The actress?
Renee Zellweger.
Adorable in that movie. I go, where's this girl come from?
Was that her first movie? No, she was in.
Close to being her first. She was an unknown playing that part. Wasn't she back then?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think of other movies. She was also in Me, Myself, and Irene, right? She was good in that.
She was.
That was after the fact.
She was the diary of what's the name? Jones, right?
Yeah, didn't she put on weight for that? Bridget Jones's Diary.
Bridget Jones's Diary.
I think she had to gain weight for that role.
She did. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show. Nick Sirianni Worship Day and General Knowledge Wednesday. Back after this.
It's time for Birds Playoff Conversation.
11:14, Mike Missanelli Show, Nick Sirianni Worship Day. However, that doesn't mean we can't talk about other things. It's very interesting, the reaction that people around the league have about how viable the Eagles are to be a Super Bowl team. There's a story I'm reading here. 8 playoff teams still alive, ranked by their Super Bowl chances. In this particular story, ranked number 1 with their Super Bowl chances, the Baltimore Ravens. The Philadelphia Eagles are 5th.
So who do they have above them? Obviously, the Ravens, you said number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they're putting the Chiefs above them.
Correct.
Then the
Bills.
The Bills and the Lions.
And the Lions. However, the odds are now moving the Eagles up. Odds for the Super Bowl winner. The favorite is Detroit at plus 280. The Chiefs at plus 350. The Eagles are next at plus 400. What do you make of that, Bill?
Well, I guess they think that in the AFC, obviously, the Ravens or the Bills, somebody's out this weekend because they're playing each other. So, and then whoever wins that game is going to have to play the Chiefs the following week. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense when you look at that the AFC is going to beat each other up. I don't know. I'm not that offended by that. I do think, though, that the Eagles are going to beat the Detroit Lions if they play them next week. I've been saying that for a while now. I know the game's going to be in Detroit. Now, you shut down a caller earlier who said that there's a chance the Commanders could upset the Lions.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Stupid.
I think there's a shot, man.
No, there's no shot.
I wouldn't pick it. I would not pick the Commanders.
What's great about you is that you're consistent, and you consistently disrespect the Detroit Lions.
Consistently, I do.
So your initial reaction is going to be, yeah, the Commanders can win. They can't win that game. Come on.
Well, the only way that they could win that game is if Jaden Daniels, I know he's only a rookie, but the kid has shown he can change a game himself. So you don't rule out a team that has a good quarterback.
9.5-point underdog in this game.
Let me ask you this. Assuming things go the way we think they go this weekend.
Yeah.
Eagles win, Lions win. I got a hypothetical line on FanDuel right now for the NFC Championship game. What do you think that is? In Detroit, Eagles at Lions.
Lions minus 1.5.
You're close. 2.5. So right now, Detroit would be a 2.5-point favorite in the NFC Championship game at home. That line doesn't scare me.
No, it's not a scary line. It's like a little bit under a home field line. It gives the Eagles a little respect. In fact, I thought it would be even less.
Yeah, no, I like that. And then for the AFC,
that's the game everybody wants to see, obviously.
Yeah, and then for the AFC Championship game, either Ravens or Bills in Kansas City both would be a 1.5 dog. So, I mean, it could be a really good conference championship weekend.
All right, let's go to Skip in North Philly. What's up, Skip?
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Mike. So, I'm on Bill's side, but Bill got his Mickey Crush going on. But, Mike, I think you said this in the past. We're in a time with these coaches where they don't get the long tenures anymore, like Andy and Mike Tomlin. So, if you're looking at the small sample size, Nick is a good coach, and whatever he's doing in that building works. And I think it's attached to Jalen, too, because the same hate, I think, trickles down from Nick, trickles down to Jalen, because it's not pretty and all the aesthetics don't look right, but it's effective. So I guess what I'm saying is it just works for us, man. We've been through some bad coaches, and this guy just works for us. Is he great at everything? Is he a CEO? Is him and Jalen just game managers? I'll take it. Because some of these other guys wouldn't last here.
I get it. Listen, I can't say anything negative about Nick Sirianni. In fact, I think it was a stroke of genius that they took him away from play calling. And they made him this guy who could oversee. So he's now got time to write a letter to this guy about his family. Or whatever. Like, that's what a CEO, he's got more time to develop those type of things, which make players feel comfortable.
Now, Mike, I do have a question for you based off what you and Bill were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say if the game is Detroit, it's actually if it's Detroit and the Eagles here. In Detroit, is that 2, 1.5, 2? That's the Eagles line, right?
2.5, slight Eagles line, not anything.
1.5. If it's the 1.5, that's the Eagles line, right?
1.5 is, yeah.
Okay. Now, hypothetically, Washington does beat Detroit. What does that line look like here?
It's right now. The hypothetical line is out for that. It would be Eagles would be a 6.5-point favorite at home against the Commanders.
Yeah. I think that would be like the Minnesota game. I think we would run through them the third time.
I totally agree with you. If they have to play the Commanders, you get to New Orleans. All right,
Yeah.
Get an air bub or whatever.
Right.
All right, Skip. Here we go with your general knowledge question, and it is this: in 2005, French surgeons transplanted a body part in a historic operation that had never been done before. What did they transplant?
A body part?
Body part. Yes, a body part.
And it's never been
a historic operation, the first time it was ever done.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go to a men's private area.
A man's private area. The Winky. No,
Yeah.
that is incorrect.
Now, didn't that happen to what was that guy? Lorraine Bobbitt? Didn't that happen back then? They had I guess they just had to reattach, not transplant.
Yeah.
That was long before 05. Was it a hand in 05?
Nope. Continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Analyze the passing game. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC divisional round matchup between the Eagles and Rams. The storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan. Met with the media yesterday and addressed the passing game.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
And obviously something they're going to need to work on leading up to Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action tonight against the Knicks. You can hear the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Flyers fell last night in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. This update is also brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile, from testing their vehicles to creating AI that can anticipate your needs on the road. They demand that every car is worthy of their star because it's Mercedes-Benz. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is the Mike Missanelli Show. 97.5, The Fanatic. It is Nick Sirianni Worship Day. It is also General Knowledge Wednesday. We have the news at noon that's coming up. We're going to hear a rapper do a Dr. Seuss book. I can't wait. I can't wait for this show to just flow.
It's a great show. The only one that's going to be better is when I call during labor. I'm going to call in.
Are you going to call in?
I'm going to give the play-by-play. All right, she's at 8 centimeters now.
There you go. Sounds good. I'm sure people will be excited to hear that.
People will be glued to their radios.
Oh, there was a blop of placenta. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. By the way, you owe Ray a question, too.
All right, Ray. Let's get back at it. So the question was a movie character question, right? No, what was it?
General knowledge.
Oh, it was general knowledge question. All right, Ray, here we go. 20 years ago, a mockumentary TV show debuted in the U.S. 4 years after the British version it was based on.
The Office.
Oh, Ray!
That was easy.
All right.
It's about time.
Ray cashed in to tie the score at 1-1.
You know, I don't like the energy of you over there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ray,
Every
good job.
once in a while, you get a breakaway layup. You still have to make the layup.
You do. He's correct about that.
Were you an Office guy? Did you watch it?
Hate it.
Did you? You didn't like it?
I hate it. I literally hate that show.
I watched a few episodes.
It's like it makes me nuts. You know, it's terrible too because like when I decompress after a show, I go home and I flip on to Comedy Central and it's Seinfeld, and I just use it as background. It's like comforting to me, right? And sometimes Seinfeld will go to 6 o'clock, and sometimes it'll go to 4. So I'll be in the kitchen messing around, doing whatever I do, and I'll hear The Office come on. I go, it's one of those days where The Office comes on at 4 o'clock. I hate the show.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes a few years back. I thought it was okay. I thought it was funny.
I was a fan of it.
You watched them all, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am not. I know there are people who, like, travel to Scranton to, like, do the Office tour and stuff. That's a little...
No, that's a little much.
A little over the top.
A little much.
That character bothers me so much, I cringe.
Which character?
Michael Scott.
Steve Carell?
Yeah. I just can't take it. It's like, come on. Just so irritating to me. I don't know why.
Is there
I know
any
a lot of people love it.
Non-Seinfeld, like, sitcom that you enjoy?
See, it's funny because back in the day I was a sitcom guy, but now I can't watch sitcoms. So you're right. You've noticed this pattern with me, right? I hate Everybody Loves Raymond. I hate that other show,
The King of Queens, that I like.
The King of Queens. I hate. What else do I hate? I don't know. Whatever. Friends, I hated. I loathed it. Oh,
there was nothing about you that struck me that you'd be a Friends guy.
It's like, come on with this chumminess.
Yeah. But I would have thought you would have been an Office guy. I would have thought you liked.
No. It's just, irritates me. All right, let's go to Nick and Ewing. Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nick.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nick,
really
what's going
love
on?
the conversation you guys are having.
Thanks, buddy.
I just wanted to make a few points on Nick Sirianni. So the way that this year has been going for him, I can tell that he's been having like a chip on his shoulder. And the reason with that being said, the way that last year ended, he's definitely motivated to, get his team to the next step, the next level. And you can tell like his players are playing hard for him. And that's always important when you build a culture, when you build a team. You want your players to feed off of your energy. Like even when he could be yelling at the fans, in the front row, like I think his players feed off of that, because you want a coach that cares about you, and I could speak for that because, I'm a LA Charger fan and I know what it's been like to have a coach, like Brandon Staley that wasn't so good, and a coach like Jim Harbaugh that can come in and change the culture, right then and there. So it's definitely important. So I really think this year, he's definitely motivated and definitely ready to, get back to the promised land.
Yeah, I can't listen. That bothered me when he would do that with the fan. I thought it was totally unnecessary and unprofessional. I didn't know how players react to that. Maybe you're right. Maybe they react in a positive way to that. I would think that kind of behavior from a head coach would get an eye roll. But in this case, maybe it didn't get an eye roll.
Right, and also I also wanted to speak on. I think you brought it up earlier, like where he talked about like Jordan Mailata and the relationship that he built, like a personal relationship. Especially for a coach. They're not just a football coach. They could also be like father figures to some of these young players, and that's what's also important too.
Mm-hmm.
You want a coach that really cares about you off the field and on the field too, but off the field that really makes a difference when you have a coach like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. All these are bountiful reasons to love Sirianni. So there you go.
Yeah,
That's why it's Nick Sirianni Worship Day today.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a full supporter of him, and I've been a full supporter of him since year one. Me as a Charger
wait a minute. You're still supporting them when they lost 6 or 7 last year?
We all fertilize.
Nick?
Nick,
come on, Nick. They lost 6 or 7. Were you a full supporter of them?
Not as much, but after that, he kind of won me over.
All right. When they were 2-2 early on and he was getting involved in nonsense, were you a full supporter of him?
Not as much, no.
All right. I mean, said you were always a full supporter of him. Come on, Nick. All right, let me give you a general knowledge question.
I'm ready.
Okay, the general knowledge question is this. What are the sculptures that Madame Tussauds made from?
Ooh.
Madame Tussauds Museum. The statues in there, the sculptures are made from what?
Let's see. I'm not that very book smart, but I don't know. Somebody's going to get mad at me. I'm going to hit the I don't know button.
All right. You're Al. He's Al. He gave it up. That's Wax Museum. Very great likenesses. Whoever does that is a master. Whoever did that should have been commissioned for the Dwayne Wade statue. Because wax would have been better than what they did, actually. They still have done a wax thing and put it in a case, no?
Do wax museums still exist? I guess so.
Yes,
right?
that still exists, Madame Tussauds. Tussauds, wherever you pronounce it. Tussauds.
You ever think, like...
It's amazing the likenesses in that museum. I've never been, but I could, you've seen it before.
Like, how simple we are as a species sometimes. Like, I've been to wax museums, too. It's like, oh, that looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've never been to a wax museum.
I went when I was a kid.
Really?
Oh, look at that. It looks like Madonna. Like, why does that entertain us?
I don't know. It's kind of creepy.
One of the better points you've actually made in this show.
What do you think about it? It's creepy, isn't it?
A little bit.
All right, 610-632-0975. I got a couple open lines, and we've been busy today, and we should be busy. So stay tuned where Dr. Seuss gets wrapped. That's coming up. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now, a Birds Insider.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Coming up, we're going to... this guy, I assume he's an amateur rapper, and on Twitter he put out this rap version of one of the undervalued Dr. Seuss books. I don't know if I've ever read this one or read it to my daughter. That's coming up in a second. But Yo, Ray, a question here in general knowledge with the general knowledge category, Ray. So are you ready?
Sure.
Ray, what Italian fashion designer was killed by an obsessive fan in Miami Beach in 1997? There was an international manhunt for this guy who was the murderer. They finally got him.
Great Netflix show, too.
It was.
Oh, that's a list to watch.
What Italian fashion designer was murdered by an obsessive fan?
Have you ever been to South Beach, Ray?
I have.
You could walk right by the mansions.
Yes.
It's right there.
Yeah, I'm sure I could. I might have, actually.
You definitely did if you were down on South Beach. It's literally right there.
In this moment, it's not going to help me. Gucci.
Oh, God.
I have no idea.
This is embarrassing.
You
don't think that's an embarrassing answer?
I don't know if Ray's into the fashion world. Johnny Versace.
Versace.
Well, it ended in an E. I was close.
But you've been to South Beach. The mansion's right there. It was a Netflix show going back a couple years ago. It's very good. I encourage you to watch it.
Given all of the time I've spent watching all the things, Versace, the murder series, was something top of the
I didn't
list.
think Ray was going to get that. Doesn't shock me. You're shocked by that.
I am a little surprised.
All right, so we're still tied.
Well, because if you would have said to Ray, 2002, who led the NBA in three-point percentage? He would know instantly.
He would.
Well, I deduced the fact that Ray Allen was still in the league.
See,
and
I told you, listen to this.
Ray's not a fashion man like you, Bill.
You asked me
in your spare time. Ray's not wafting through Nordstrom's or
It was also a current event the year my parents got married. I'm sorry, I didn't catch up on news from.
People are mad at Ray too because he said, "Well, they both ended in E." They're saying, no, Gucci ends in an I.
The sound of it.
I know what you meant, but people are killing
We're
me
on
YouTube.
a medium in which it's all audio.
There ain't no Versace in the Temple memorabilia shop down there. Right?
And there's a ton in Penn State.
Versace didn't design the block T.
Yeah, and there's a lot of lions that I'm sure are decked out in Versace.
Oh, man. I love you, Ray.
I love the way he gets tweaked. All right. So, Ray, let's turn it. We'll have a little fun right now, and then we'll get back to the intensity of Nick Sirianni Worship Day. And in the 12 o'clock hour, we're going to try to answer the question with some really interesting facts. Is it still valid to be worried about Jalen Hurts and the lack of an Eagles passing game? It's been analyzed by a certain writer who we both know very well, worked in Philadelphia a while, a guy named Sheil Kapadia. We'll get into that in the 12 o'clock hour. We'll also have the news at noon that it's coming up. So let's do this. There was I stumbled across this. I guess I don't know who the guy is, but he's an amateur rapper. And he put out a video on Twitter of him turning the Dr. Seuss book, Mr. Brown Can Moo.
I never heard of that one either.
I've heard of it. It just isn't one of the more popular Seussians. But he turned it into a rap version using his talents as a rhymer. So here it is. And maybe this is a lesson that maybe you can do this with a lot of Dr. Seuss books because they're very rhymey. And so as long as you have a beat, a cadence, you can pull it off. So this is like an evaluation. This is for our YouTube chat board. This is for our Twitter. On whether you give this a thumbs up or not. But here's my man on Twitter rapping to Mr. Brown Can Moo.
Yo, this is Mr. Brown Can Moo, Can You? Written by Dr. Seuss, and I'm gonna rap this book. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. He can go like a cow, he can go moo moo. Mr. Brown can do it, man, how about you? He can go like a bee, Mr. Brown can buzz. How about you? Can you go buzz buzz? He can go like a cork, pop pop pop. pop, pop. He can go like horse feet, clop, clop, clop. He can go eek, eek, like a squeaky shoe. He can go like a rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. He can go like an owl, hoo, hoo, hoo. Eek, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo. Hoo, 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 hoo. How about you? He can go like the rain, dibble, 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 dop. Dibble, 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 dop, dop, dop. He can go like a train, choo, 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 choo. All the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Mr. Brown can do it, man. How about you? Mr. Brown can whisper, whisper. Very soft, very high, like a soft, soft whisper of a butterfly. Maybe you can too. I think you ought to try. He can go like a horn, blur, 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 blur. Like a big cat drinking slurp, 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 slurp. He can go like a clock. He can tick, he can talk. He can go like a hand on the door, knock, knock. Tick tock, knock, knock, knock. All the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Blur, blur, slurp, slurp, cock-a-doodle-doo. Knock, 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 and hoo, hoo, hoo. He can even sizzle, sizzle. He can do that too. Like an egg in the frying pan. How about you? Mr. Brown is so smart, smart as they come. He can do a hippopotamus chewing gum. Grum, 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 grum. Mr. Brown is so smart. He can even do this. He can even make noise like a goldfish kiss. Boom, boom, boom. Mr. Brown is a wonder. Boom, boom, boom. Mr. Brown makes thunder. He makes lightning. Splat, splat, splat. It's very, very hard to make a noise like that. All the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Grum, 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 choo, choo, choo. Boom, boom, splat, splat, tick, tick, tock. Sizzle, sizzle, blurp, blurp, knock, knock, knock. A slurp and a whisper and a fish kiss too. Mr. Brown can do it, man. How about you? Yeah.
All right, there you go. And I liked it. I gotta be honest with you. Here's the thing: when you see that video, my man's turning the pages. Like it's not easy to get to the next page where you're in a fast cadence like that, where you don't miss a beat. You know?
No, it was an impressive video. It was an impressive video. People on YouTube aren't as impressed.
Really?
No.
What are the YouTube people saying?
So Andrew says on a scale of 1 to 100, I give it a -10.
What? Pop, pop, pop. Come on, man. He had good cadence down in that.
I thought he did too.
All right. I guess.
And then people are just confused. Saying, what are we doing here?
We're just having a little fun. I heard it. I just wanted to share it.
I liked it.
No, it's fair. People didn't like it. I thought my man rolled pretty good with it.
So what's your favorite Dr. Seuss book?
Green Eggs and Ham, man. Come on. You can't beat the Green Eggs and Ham.
I like
the Sam I Am.
I like How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah. I don't like the Grinch. I'm not a fan.
Oh, man, when they say his heart grew.
Yeah.
Oh, gets you every time, right?
Not a fan of the Grinch.
When you watch his heart grow?
The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham, much superior. 610-632-0975. Coming up is the news at noon. Don't go anywhere.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Analyzing the passing game. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC Divisional Round matchup between the Eagles and Rams. The storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan, met with the media yesterday, and addressed his passing game.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
We'll see if his offense figures it out Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, the 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action tonight against the Knicks. You can hear it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers fell last night in a shootout, so the Columbus Blue Jackets return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. This update is brought to you by Batteries Plus. At Batteries Plus, you'll find dependable batteries for your car or truck, plus free battery testing and expert installation to power on with Batteries Plus. Over 700 locations nationwide. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
early show, we're going to hear from the worshipee. Coming up at 12:05, Sirianni talks to the press. You don't want to miss that. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All righty, Ray Dunn seeking out 3 very interesting little tidbits for us to chat about. What do you got today, Ray?
Just an odd thing that happened last night during the Mavericks and Nuggets game during the broadcast. Deion Sanders, I guess, was tuned in at home, decided to tweet in that he loved Greg Anthony's coat that he had, a nice little sport jacket that he was wearing on the broadcast.
He tweeted at Greg Anthony?
Yeah.
So what, they know each other?
I guess so.
He's got his digits. All right.
Apparently so. Well, sitting just a few seats down from where the broadcast was Shedeur Sanders. So TNT decided, you know what, mid-broadcast, we're just going to have our sideline reporter, Jared Greenberg, come over, take the coat from Greg Anthony, and deliver it over to Shedeur Sanders. This was all shown on television, and here's Ian Eagle with the call of it.
Apparently, Jared is now taking your jacket. I think you don't give it to Shedeur to give to his dad. He's giving it to Shedeur. Shedeur is very perplexed. Jared is now explaining to him, your dad tweeted that he's going to want that jacket. Jared is saying, take the jacket. Shedeur said, for real? He said, yes. This is your jacket now. Okay, I got you. Yeah, serious? Yes. Thank you. That happened. Yeah, all right. Shedeur now is looking at it like, seriously? I got to now bring this around?
I got to slap home the jacket. Well, my question is, Greg Anthony's now jacketless doing the broadcast. Would you give up a jacket that you like?
Well, one, no. Or I wouldn't want someone else's jacket. It's not going to fit right. Like, Deion Sanders, what's he going to do with Greg Anthony's jacket?
Maybe they're similar sized. I don't know. Maybe they.
And to be honest with you, it was hideous.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I pulled it up. It was like.
Well, like hideous to one is sharp to another. So you can't make that judgment.
To each his own, I guess. Well, yeah, Shedeur Sanders having the Shedeur. I always say his name wrong. Shedeur. Yeah, he's got to carry that jacket around now the whole game, and then
I guess.
Oh, what is that? Such a hardship?
I don't know.
Give Pops this jacket. Like what were you messing up his evening?
Like Deion really needs somebody else's jacket.
I don't know. It's a good little TV bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got a problem with it? It's very interesting.
And
that unnerves you.
Yeah, it was just weird, dude.
I'm just saying, like, I guess if you're Greg Anthony, you got a million jackets, you can afford to give up one. But me, if I have a nice sport jacket, I don't know if I'm comfortable giving it up.
They even kept the hanky in the pocket, so we gave him a hanky too.
All right.
I'm negotiating a trade in that scenario.
Yeah?
I'm not just kidding.
You got to get some. Well, Deion will send you something back, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. You think Deion's going to Dallas?
No, he said he loves Boulder. Not doing it.
He implemented some new rules in Colorado too.
Did he?
They have to. They got to have higher than a D. No slides.
No slides. No tank tops, and you sit in the front of the class.
Wow, that's like Coach Carter.
Yeah. No, I like Deion's doing a good job, man.
All right, let's move on.
All right, we're gonna go down to Miami. Chris Haynes given the latest on Jimmy Butler, and I just can't believe that this is something that would actually happen.
What I can tell you right now is that I think he's a few games removed. I don't know the games off the top of my head. Maybe you guys know how many games left from his suspension, but I'm told he is fully prepared to return to play and play for the Miami Heat if he is not moved by the time his suspension is lifted.
You find that hard to believe, Ray?
Incredibly hard to believe.
Why?
After all this, it ends with him back on the floor for the Heat?
Jimmy Butler doesn't care. He'll go through the motions. That's his idea of playing. He'll make them eat it. Jimmy Butler's one of those guys, yeah, I'm back, yeah. And he'll give half-ass effort to the point where they go, well, now we can't. This is intolerable. That's what his game is. That's what he does. He makes it intolerable. Playing right into his hands.
What's the rumor as regard to like who he's going to if they do trade him? Anybody's guess?
Warriors.
Is that where he wants to go?
Phoenix wants to go.
Oh, he wants to go to the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at Jimmy Butler's next team odds. His next regular season minute played after the trade deadline to be, and the Suns have the best odds at plus 110.
There you go.
Memphis is also in there. The Pelicans are in there.
The Pelicans?
Yeah, they're at plus 750.
What the hell's that about?
I don't know.
That's a horrible situation. All right, what's number 3?
All right, real quick, before we get to number 3 here.
Oh, what? What do you got?
Well, let everyone know you're listening to WPEN, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia.
That was my bad. See, I didn't hear what you whispered in my ear. So I carried on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
That's good work for you.
Ray whispers in your ear?
Yeah, he said, and I didn't really catch what it
That's
was.
okay.
He was saying he was illegal ID. I think he was saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as compared to when you guys come to the talk back and it's like you're shouting in here every
really?
time I jump.
Ray jumps when I talk to the producer.
Whoever's producing or doing the highlights for these Sixers games turns the preview up to 1,000 in here. It's whatever. It's fine.
All right, number 3, Ray. What do we got?
Number 3. We're going to go to football here, and this is just really to make your head spin. Mark Sanchez went on Dan Patrick, and they were talking about broadcast analysts, and Sanchez's opinion of himself is going to make you go crazy.
Do you feel you're a better analyst than Tom Brady?
Whoa. Careful now. Careful. Listen, and I hope Tom would say the same thing, but you got to feel like I feel like if you're playing quarterback or if you're going to compete at anything, you got to feel like you're the best, or you shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion. But that's just the way I was reared. That's just kind of the way, we grew up. I can do this better than anybody. But I'm sure Troy Aikman thinks that. I'm sure Tom Brady thinks that. And they're all really, really good. And at the end of the day, too, when it comes to, this announcing game, it's a little different than, as a quarterback, you have a record next to your name. You have a completion percentage. You throw for yards, touchdowns. You get all these stats. Wasn't an announcer, you get a bunch of opinions about either you're good or not. Well,
what? That's where it ended. Hey, here I get 2 words for him. You suck as an announcer. That's the word I have for him. Listen, I know he can't come out there and say I suck, but he can say, I'm still learning in this business. I want to be really good. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to tell me that when you take the microphone, you actually think you're the best?
See, what I thought they were going to ask him was, do you think you're a better color analyst than you were a professional quarterback?
Yeah.
That's what I thought the question would be.
Here's Nick Sirianni. We got him. He's at the podium early. Hey, let's go to him.
Hey, Nick. How have the Rams changed since you guys have played them, if at all?
Yeah, they're playing really good football. I think that was pretty obvious when we went in to play them last time too. They had won 4 out of 5 before we played them, and then pretty much have been undefeated since then. So they're playing really good football. Both offensively, defensively, special teams wise, and you expect that because they got good players. And I again can't say enough about this coaching staff. I really think that they have a really good coaching staff led by Sean McVay.
How about defensively? Anything tangibly that you've seen that shows the improvement since last time you guys faced off?
Anytime you played a team as long ago as we played them, there's going to be things that have changed. And there definitely is. They do a couple different things on defense, making it hard on you, making it challenging on you to predict what's coming. But Chris Shula's done a really good job coaching the defense, and again, they got really good, really good players, and especially on that defensive line, it's a good front that's playing really good football right now. To say they've, exactly what they're changing, I'm not going to kind of get into that, but they obviously have some changes, just like we have some changes since last time we played them.
What's your message to the team this week?
Talked about again the consistency of what's important, and our tough, detailed together is always going to be important, and then also we talked a little bit about embracing adversity in playoffs, in playoff football. And just in the NFL in general, there's going to be plays that when you're in a game that they're going to make. And even with your best efforts, they still could make the play. So how do you play the next play mentality? And again, that's something that we've focused on a lot all year is next play mentality. And that's really, and we're saying this week, embrace the adversity, and that's really another way of saying, hey, play the next play.
You got to work with Chris and with the Chargers. It's been a long time. Do you know anything? Do you have a foundational, sort of understanding of what he is as a coach?
From my experience with him at the Chargers now, we've both been a lot of different places since then. Obviously, enjoyed the relationship I had with him while we coached together. Still consider him a friend. Obviously, think he's a very good coach, and he's doing a great job this year. But to say anything no, not really, not really as far as that goes. Because again, his philosophy has continued to develop. My philosophy is continuing to develop. So, it'll be a different handshake because I know him well. But that's about it.
Vic Fangio said that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. could or will get some playing time with Nakobe out. How important was it that Jeremiah got that final regular season game and all that action, and what did he show you?
Yeah, I think that was important for all our guys to be able to get that. We had had the opportunity, just like the Rams did, to give ourselves a bye week on the, however you want to say that, to give our guys a rest at the end of the regular season. And with that comes opportunity for other people. That are backups, and it was really important for him. He played a really good game. It was all over the stat sheet of what he did, and then all over the field. And so, I feel really good about the linebacker room. Obviously bummed about Nakobe, but feel really good about the guys that are going to be able to step in and play in his absence. And just can't say enough about Trot and Oren and Bobby King and Ronnell Williams, getting those guys ready.
An overview of the offense this year, and Jalen's role within it. 2 years ago versus now, 100 pass attempts fewer. You called the game manager notion bullshit with him. How much has he embraced this role in the offense, and how much of it was from input that he had throughout the year?
Again, it's to look at it a whole season like that and say we have 100 less passes. Yes, that is the truth, right? But games go differently. The way games were last year are different than the games were this year, right? And so we have been in some situations where we haven't passed the ball in the fourth quarter of a lot of different games. So I think that's and I think that's kind of hard to see that number. It's an astonishing number when you say it like that, but that's over a course of 17 games, and also again knowing that some of these guys didn't play in fourth quarters and we didn't throw some in the fourth quarter. But again, to answer your question, I think what we do is we do whatever we need to do to win each and every game. And so if that means you're in a 2-minute to end the game and you got to throw it like we did against New Orleans to get the ball down into the position to score, you do that. If you're in a position where you're in a 4-minute at the end of the game and you're running out the clock to do whichever you need to do to win the game in that particular one, and you're running it well, then you do those things. And so I think that's just the nature of how that's went. And again, I think anytime that you have won whatever 13, 14, or 14, 15, whatever it is, your quarterback's going to be playing well. And Jalen's been playing very efficient. He's taking care of the football. He's playing very efficient. He's playing great. He's playing really good football. And I know that the stats don't look the same way because of different circumstances, but I think Jalen's playing really, really good football at this stage of the year, and excited about his opportunity of what he gets to do on Sunday.
In terms of protecting the football, you mentioned with Jalen, how did he go from having 25 turnovers over a span of 20 games or so to only just maybe, I think, 4 over the last 14?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? It's pretty impressive by him of being able to lead us to wins while also taking care of the football. That's not and be explosive and still take care of the football. That's not easy to do because we talk about that a lot. How do you win the double positive? How do you win the explosive play battle? And how do you win the turnover battle? And everybody's got hard jobs. That's a very hard job for a quarterback to be able to create explosive plays and do the things that Jalen's done while also taking care of the football with running it and throwing it. So just unbelievable effort and concentration on his part of going where the right place with the football. while also when he is a runner protecting the football like Saquon does or like AJ does, and so I can't give him enough credit for that because that's very difficult, and it's really when you win the turnover battle in this league, and it really dictates one of the best stat indicators of what's going to happen in the game, and so it's really just a great job by him putting our team in position to win each week because of how he's taking care of the football.
Nick, look at the combine last year. One thing Howie said was that you guys looked after last year and said you need to play young players more. Have you been more deliberate in that, or especially as injured replacements?
Yeah, I think still obviously we've played a lot of young guys. We're young on defense now. At this point of the year, when you're 17, 18 games in, you're like, okay, the experience is there. They've played a full year of football. Now we're into playoff football. But I think at the end of the day, we always owe it to ourselves to play the guys that best give us a chance to win. And I think it's just the nature of it that these guys have given us a chance to win. And they've gotten better as the season has went on. And so, I wouldn't say any extra. It's worked out that way, and I'm happy that it has.
Nick, Saquon's closing in on 400 touches. What have you seen from him as far as the way he takes care of himself and his fitness level and how he's managed to navigate the season and play at a high level?
Yeah, he does a lot of things just to get himself ready each Sunday, both mentally and physically. And I think he's an ultimate pro that knows how important that it is that he's in great shape, weighing what he needs to weigh, working hard in the weight room to do the preventative things, the prehab, the post, the rehab stuff, and so he really does a good job of taking care of his body to get himself where he can touch the ball that much. And that's a group effort. I can't say enough about all the guys that work with him as well. The strength staff, the training room staff, the doctors that all work with him to make sure he's on that on that path. And so there's some things too with Saquon that you'll have load management throughout the week to get him ready. I think you guys have asked me of that a bunch, and like our job on every Sunday is to win the game by however we need to win the game. All that matters. What does Jalen say? The main thing's the main thing. How are we going to win this game? And so you do everything you can to win the game. So really, the management of Saquon and how he feels good is what is happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And quite frankly, that's the same thing that we believe is like the things that you do Monday through Saturday, whether it's training, whether it's taking care of your body, whether it's the work that you put in the film room, whether it's the work you put on the field, are direct indicators of if you're going to win or lose the game or how you're going to perform. And so this is no different. And Saquon just has a relentless work ethic in everything that he does, and which makes him pretty special.
When you look at the first game when Saquon had the 255 yards against the Rams, how much of a luxury is it, knowing that they have to pretty much account for that somehow this week, knowing that you...
Yeah, we know that everyone's going to account for that, and that's not new to us. Again, they'll see stuff on tape that they'll want to do differently and that they'll want to repeat, and we'll see stuff on tape that we'll want to do differently and we'll want to repeat. I know that'll be a big film that they watch. It's obviously a big film that we'll watch, and so it's not uncommon, right? We know that we're going to get people's best effort to stop Saquon, and that's just been what we've dealt with all year.
You've had quite a few guys. You have quite a few guys in load management right now that you're dealing with. What's the challenge of practicing like that? And do you not worry, like veteran guys, if they're on the practice field or not?
Obviously, you want everyone to practice and get ready to go for the game. But it is at this point of the year, and everybody's always in different positions, right? You fight the hard line of being ready to play on Sunday physically. And doing the right things throughout the week to make sure you're ready to play, right? And so, if that makes sense. So you just got to fight that constantly. And really, I say at this point of the year, it's really something that we do throughout the entire year. What's the right amount to get ready for the game and perfect our craft and redefine our skills, and while also being ready to go physically for the grind of a 4-quarter, 5-quarter game that you're about to play. And so that's something that we deal with each week. And, we feel like we've done a lot of, again, I get all the information from everybody. Ultimately, I have to make the decisions, but I just got a lot of great people to help me out, to help make those decisions. And, the players, they help me out with that, how their bodies are feeling, and obviously the trainers, doctors, and strength staff.
Last one. You relied on younger players on defense this year. What is it taking behind the scenes to develop them?
Yeah, obviously great effort and energy by that player themselves to get themselves ready to go. A lot of work from the coaches, to the extra meetings with the coaches, to make sure that that you put them in positions that they're going to be in the game, and sometimes you can't put them in every position they're going to be in the game out at practice. That's what walkthroughs for. That's what meetings are for, and that's what the extra meetings are for. And so, a lot of work by the coaches and the players to get themselves in that. Obviously, a phenomenal job by Howie and his staff to get the guys in here that are talented like that we have. But yeah, that again, all these things. That's what I feel like. I said that a bunch today. It's like, yeah, it took this group of people to do that, and this group of people to do that. That's what's awesome about an organization. That's what's awesome about football. It's every player working together, every coach working together, every department working together, and we got a special organization.
All right. Thanks, folks.
All right, there it is. Nick Sirianni. One thing, he was asked the pointed question about the Jalen Hurts, the lack of passing attempts, and all this stuff. Listen, it is clear that they have found a different way to play. So I know he tried to make excuses for, well, that's down because of the fourth quarter, the guys weren't playing. They've made a conscious effort to make him more efficient. And on that note, on the other side of the break, when somebody did a statistical analysis that says that's still going to be a factor, that they don't have a great passing game. And we'll get into that after this on the Mike Missanelli Show.
Andrew Salciunas.
Regardless of
Sirianni Worship Day. And in a few minutes, Bill Colarulo, the number one Nick Sirianni fan, will dig into some numbers which are meant to not only laud Sirianni, but to make the Sirianni doubters feel bad. That's coming up in just a little bit. But the main issue that people talk about when they talk about the Eagles is whether their passing game and whether Jalen Hurts within that passing game is good enough to win a Super Bowl. The counterpoint is, yeah, it is. When you have a defense and a running game and an offensive line and a good secondary and all that stuff to overcome the fact that you don't throw for 300 yards a game in a passing league. Now, Sheil Kapadia, who covers the NFL for The Ringer, used to cover the Eagles specifically in this town, has asked the same question to himself. And so he writes today, the Eagles are a hard team to talk about right now. On one hand, they almost never lose. And he's right. Well, on the other hand, there have been many weeks this season when I've watched their passing game and thought, how are they winning with this? Including last Sunday when they managed just 121 net passing yards against Green Bay. He goes on to say, the Eagles finished the regular season ranked 14th in passing DVOA. That's the lowest ranking for any season since Jalen Hurts became the starter in 2021. They run a low volume of passing concepts. They major in predictability and lack creativity. And it feels like the aggressiveness has been coached out of Hurts. In previous seasons, if he thought wide receiver A.J. Brown had a chance to win a one-on-one matchup, Hurts would take a downfield shot. But after a rash of turnovers in the early part of the season, Hurts has seemingly prioritized avoiding mistakes over everything else. Against the Packers' defense, Hurts attempted just one pass that traveled more than 20 yards down the field. And when you consider that historically he doesn't like to target the middle of the field, you have to wonder what's left to try. The combination of stale scheme and conservative quarterback play has been tough to watch. And then he goes on to say, now I know what you're saying out there. Isn't it working? They're within 2 games of getting to the Super Bowl. And Sheil says, here's another stat for you. Out of a sample of 224 games, Hurts' wildcard performance against the Packers ranked tied for 205th in drop-back success rate, a metric that measures how often a passing play produces a positive outcome for the offense. There have been only 15 examples in the past 10 seasons of a quarterback having a worse success rate in a playoff game. And guess what? All 15 of those quarterbacks lost. That Eagles game Sunday featured the least efficient passing performance by a quarterback whose team won a playoff game in the past 10 years. Bill, do you have any reaction to what I just said?
Well, yeah, a couple of things. I mean, we talked about it a lot in the regular season where I pointed to the fact that when you looked at where the Eagles ranked in terms of passing yards per game, they were in the bottom of the NFL, that at the history of the Super Bowl in the last 15 years, teams with that low of a passing offense don't usually win Super Bowls. But there was the one outlier, the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. They were ranked 26th in the NFL in passing yards. They were 31st in the NFL in pass attempts. But what did the Seattle Seahawks have? They had the number 1 defense in the entire league that year. They had the Legion of Boom defense. You can make the comparison of that 2013 Seahawks Super Bowl winning team to this Philadelphia Eagles team because, yeah, the passing offense sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. They finished the season 29th. But the defense is so damn good. The rushing attack is so damn good. And you also have to look at Jalen Hurts. He has a skill set that a lot of those quarterbacks that I'm sure of those 240-something that Sheil Kapadia cites don't have or didn't have. Jalen has an ability to win games with his legs. Jalen has an ability to impact the rushing attack even when he's not the one rushing the football because of that +1 in the running game when they call those RPOs. So I would take all of that and basically throw it out the window. There has not been a team that is built like this Philadelphia Eagles team in quite some time. And I mean that in a positive, not in a negative. When you have such a good defense, when you have such a good offensive line, when you have a running back like Saquon Barkley, and you have a quarterback that can beat you with his legs, throw all the numbers out the window. This Eagles team has proven they can win games, and they will continue to do so. And the fact that they did win that game last week with as bad as those drop-back numbers were, to me is a good sign. That game was never even in doubt, and he played that badly. And he's not going to play that badly again.
The Eagles passing game has to get better. I think. Maybe not. 610-632-0975, General Knowledge Wednesday. We have some callers ready to take their shot. And Bill, in a little bit later this hour, digs in to more Sirianni worship. The Mike Missanelli Show continues. Mike Missanelli Show, General Knowledge Wednesday. What do we stand? 1-1 today?
Yep.
Oh, man, it's a barn burner, right?
It is a barn burner. One winner gets a pair of Sixer tickets for the game January 24th against the Cavs. That's an attraction, even if you're playing Jeff Dalton 23 minutes. And one winner will get a pair of Metallica tickets for the Friday, May 23rd concert at Lincoln Financial Field.
I may go to that concert. I feel like I don't go to enough concerts. You know, then you regret it. Like,
hey, I'm out on the Lincoln Financial Field concert, though.
I think that could be cool, man. Well, you don't want to see. Now, would you rather see?
Sound messes me up. You can't possibly get good sound there.
I went to see Roger Waters' The Wall at Citizens Bank Park, and that was awesome. Sitting down on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really
Bank
cool
Park
show.
a little cozier.
Yeah, then Lincoln Financial. Now, would you rather go to the night they have Pantera opening or the night they have Limp Bizkit opening? Which one would you, if you had to choose?
Well, I'm going to do it all for the Nookie. So
I did it all for the Nookie.
No, I don't know, man. I think I might stay in the bar a little longer and then show up an hour and a half in.
I just think like you have an opportunity to go see an all-time band like Metallica. Like I remember Tom Petty was coming, and I didn't go, and I wanted to, and then he passes away. It's like, damn it, I should have gone.
The beauty of this is you can go to both because it's a no-repeat weekend. 2 different sets. And they're performing in the round.
Is there
like
anybody
50-yard, right at the 50-yard line?
Is there anybody that you wish you would have seen perform that you never had an opportunity to?
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for me it would have been Bob Marley.
The Who, maybe.
I think Bob Marley would have been an awesome concert to see. Ray, anybody jumping out at you that you wish you went to see that you never got to see?
I wish.
Which boy band, Ray?
The Wiggles? Are the Wiggles still touring?
I wish I went to Beatlemania.
Beatlemania would have been awesome.
Yeah, it
man.
would have been pretty cool.
Wait, Mike, were you at Woodstock?
Was I at Woodstock?
Are you there?
No, I was not. I was not at Woodstock.
What about Woodstock?
But I've seen many documentaries on it.
Wait, what was Woodstock in the 90s? Woodstock 94, was it?
Yeah, I had no interest in that. You can't do it. Like, the original Woodstock is so iconic that, like, anything else would be stupid, in my view. Really. I mean, the stories, that documentary was spectacular when you watch it. It went on for a long time, like 7 hours worth, but it was really, the inside that you saw in that was amazing, that people would go to that extent for that concert and how they put it together and how convenient it was for a lot of the bands and, the backstage stories and all that stuff.
You just reminded me talking about a documentary. Did you watch the Fire Festival documentary? The thing that was a huge bust?
No.
Where Ray, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good documentary, Mike.
Which one, though? The Netflix or the Hulu one?
I saw the Netflix one.
Yeah, I did as well.
They basically, it was going to be kind of like a Woodstock, this fire festival, and all these people were spending all this money, and when they got there, it was a disaster. I mean, really a disaster. You should watch that. Pretty good.
All right. Let's go back to the phones here and talk to Steve in Roxborough. Steve, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. Great show, except for that cockle-doodle-doo rapper. I'm not a rapper.
Come on, man.
I'm too old for that.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
The way Mike's brain works, that entertained him.
Mr. Brackamoo. Pop, pop, pop. Your mind works in a very interesting way. All right.
That's funny. Anyway, I can't worship Sirianni yet. Remember at the beginning of the season, he was a puppet. I actually felt bad for the guy. You know what I mean? He was still there because of the money they owed him, $14 million. And now he's making a name. He's winning. But until he wins that big one, I can't. It's not about stats. And Barkley will tell you that until you win the big one, he's got to get there. And if he doesn't get there, he'll be back one more year because they owe him $7 more million next year. But after that incident on the sideline, he just turned me off, and that was his true colors. And
wait, Steve, hold on. So if he does not win the Super Bowl this year, you don't think he's getting a contract extension just based off of what's happened already?
No, I don't believe it's all about the money. It's a business, and I get it, and that's why he's still there. Because they would owe him $14 million for this year and next year, and then they got to pay another guy $15 million. So I think it was all about just saving the money for Lurie, and I just think thank God they got their bad game over with because that was just nasty. Nick at his conference today. He lied. He didn't have a great game whatsoever. It was terrible. He could have come out and told the truth and said, it was a rust game for him. That's the honest truth.
It is amazing
what I mean?
that you're still holding back. That's really interesting. He's going to get. Listen, he's going to get an extension. If he loses the Super Bowl to a better team, it's not going to be that much of a devastation. You got to face the reality that maybe that other team was better than the Eagles.
I don't think they're getting past Detroit, to tell you the truth, and that's why I have a question mark about extension.
All right, so even if he doesn't get past Detroit, I think Detroit is a tad better than the Eagles right now. I still believe that. So if they lose to a team that's a tad better, you're done with Sirianni? He shouldn't get an extension?
I'm just not a fan. He seems like a good coach for the players, but not for me to watch him. I just don't like what he's about. So can I ask you a Notre Dame question? Mike, I know it's sensitive, but
sure,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why is that spread, Bill, you would know, you followed a spread just like the Eagles should be 7 right now. That game should be a double-digit spread, and it's only 8.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be double digits.
I think Ohio State can beat them by 25.
Well, they might, but when you're saying a spread, 8's a pretty healthy spread. It doesn't have to be a double digit.
I thought it'd be double digits. That's why I have to wait.
No, they're not. Listen, you're shortchanging Notre Dame a little bit. They're pretty solid team.
Mike, they have no pass rush, as you've seen from Penn State game. None.
All right, well, we'll see. I think it'll be a competitive game. All right, Steve,
I've been wrong before.
Let me give you a general knowledge question, Steve.
You got it.
All right, Steve. In 2010, this man led the NFL in passing, and he did it for a very West Coast California team in 2010, and he also is a very prolific producer of children.
Oh, my God. It's not Steve Young, is it?
It is not Steve Young. Ray, I'm going to give you the same question. A chance to steal it. Yes, who?
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers is correct.
Wow, good job,
and Ray.
Ray
surges into the lead. 610-632-0975. Still at stake are the tickets. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitalico.
Ray having a lot of fun with the drop board. I think Mike's working his way back in. We changed the schedule now, so the breaks are a lot shorter. Here comes Mike now. Ray's having so much fun with that drop board, Mike. He went on a little bit of a...
I got detained by a conversation between two of our salespeople about cleaning ladies.
My cleaning people are at the house right now.
The topic was whether you should clean up your house before the cleaning person arrives.
Dude, I got a little bit of an argument with the wife this morning about this because she was telling me you need to straighten up. The cleaning people are coming. And I said, then why do I got to straighten up if they're coming? They're not maids. I go, yes, they are.
Well,
is that what their job is?
I straighten up, too.
I know. I guess you're not supposed to have, clothes on the floor
I don't want
things
people
on
to
the
come in
counter.
and roll their eyes and go, this guy's a disaster.
Well, they're going to do that anyway, but you mean because of your house?
Yeah. Yeah, because of my house. Well, my cleaning lady is, unbelievable. She'll rearrange my refrigerator. She'll rearrange my pantry.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like she goes to the nth degree. It's amazing. Now she is there for 8 hours.
Well, that's a lot.
Which is a bit more. And here's the problem. I come home, I like to make myself a little dinner.
And she's still there?
She's there like 7 o'clock.
Wait, she does it all by herself?
Yes.
Well, you got that huge house, so.
No, I don't have a huge house.
What's like
just very
8,000 square feet, 9,000 square feet?
Stop it. She's very particular. She'll even go out on my back patio and sweep it. It's ridiculous.
That's a good cleaning lady right there. Yeah. I remember my grandmother when she would have cleaning people come over because she was used to doing it herself, but when she got older, she would almost test them, put dirt somewhere behind a place to see if whether they got it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going beyond.
Yeah, she was.
A little much?
Yeah, she was a little much.
All right, 610-632-0975. We get to the 1 o'clock hour. Bill is going to lay out a scenario where he's actually trying to make people feel guilty for not worshiping Nick Sirianni. And he's saying to the public it's better late than never to worship Nick Sirianni. And hence today is Nick Sirianni Worship Day.
Well, and I got a text from my father during one of the breaks.
Your father often texts you and rips into you.
Yes, he does. And he's not a huge Sirianni guy. Mm-hmm. And he texted me saying, I think you should have waited until Monday to do this show. And I'm trying to explain to them, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It shouldn't have to wait until this game on Sunday against the Rams for people to acknowledge that Nick Sirianni is a great head coach, and what he's done in 4 seasons here, we should feel lucky to have him. It shouldn't matter. Now, I'm not expecting them to lose on Sunday, but even if they came out against the Rams and they laid an egg, it should not fall at the heels of Nick Sirianni where people should say, see, I told you he doesn't deserve to come back. He's already done enough in his first 4 seasons that he should get a contract extension, but more importantly than that, he should get our respect. I'm tired of him being disrespected. When you put him up there, when the stuff that he's done in his first 4 seasons with literally Hall of Fame level coaches, why do we keep moving the goalpost? First it was, well, I need to see it this year. Well, he went 14-3. Well, they got to win the NFC East. He did it. Well, they got to win a playoff game. He did that. Now it's, they got to beat the Rams. And then you know what it's going to be, Mike? They got to beat the Lions in the NFC Championship game. And then it'll be, he's got to win the Super Bowl. No. Acknowledge it now. It doesn't matter what happens the rest of the way. Show the man the respect he deserves.
See, I agree with a lot of your points. However, the way you take, we're talking about Gandhi here, the way you're describing it.
You know what?
He's a football coach in Philadelphia Eagles. He's done a good job.
Gandhi, Sirianni. It's close. It's close.
All right, listen, I'm disarmed right now, and a lot of people are. Well, still people are coming at you, but in the 1 o'clock hour, you're going to make this big case for him with all kinds of facts and figures, and I think it's appropriate. And I'll just sit here and listen to it. All right? So we'll take a break.
I just want you to come
back. I also have an update on the Green Bay couple that caused this guy. Well, this guy now got fired. This Ryan Caldwell guy became public that he got fired. As it turns out, these Packer fans are from Chester County. So we'll give an update to that story as uncovered by our own Johnny Sunshine. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Quick break. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Analyze the passing game. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC divisional round matchup between the Eagles and Rams, and the storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan. He met with the media yesterday and addressed that passing game.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
Obviously, something we'll be keeping our eye on as they take the field Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, the 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action against the Knicks. You can hear it here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Flyers fell last night in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. This update's also brought to you by Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell, a domestic litigation firm, is a partner you can count on. Call 866-323-7529 or visit CordellCordell.com. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5TheFanatic.com.
John Kincade.
12:56. All right, let me give you this update. This story kind of cooled off. It didn't cool off. There was an announcement that that guy, Ryan Caldwell, who works for actually a company, a hospitality company that emphasized diversity while he's calling women the C word. And a lot of people tried to justify it. A lot of people, these people came and they were looking for that. But whether they were looking for it or not, it's inappropriate, drunken behavior. All right? And the guy learned a valuable lesson. But this story apparently goes on now because the people, their names are Alex Bissara and his fiancee, Allie Keller. I did not know this. I thought they were from Green Bay. It turns out they're from Chester County. And in an interview with NBC 10, which I assume Sunshine did, the couple said everything started friendly with Eagle fans around them, and that he started out with playful jabs, meaning the guy, while Bissara and Keller sat in their seats. I chatted with him for a bit, Bissara said, but then he just kept saying some of the same things, continued through the entire game. It got worse and worse as the game went on. We were surrounded by Eagle fans. We were getting all the attention. Things started to get nastier, according to the couple, as the Eagles increased their lead over the Packers. At one point, they said Ryan Caldwell, the guy who got fired, the guy who used the C word, asked them if they were having a good time and told the couple that they had terrible attitudes before going into detail about his third-grade teacher instilling in him the virtues of having a, quote, great attitude. He was just going on and on. He wanted something out of us. So I turned around because I kind of had enough of it at this point and said, well, maybe you should go back to third grade. It seems like you're the one with the bad attitude. And it seems like all the fans around us are the ones with the bad attitude. The situation escalated from there. And that's when Keller said the instarts started to come. She said that Caldwell began attacking her looks. He said, actually, you're not even good enough to be talking to me. You're not even good looking enough to be talking to me. And I said, you know, what does that mean? And he said, you know what that means. So I said, have you looked into the mirror yourself? And he said, yeah, but I'm a man. I'm allowed to be ugly. You're a woman. And then it went on and on and on. Then the guy got nasty, and he called her the C word and the whole bit. So there are a lot of people that have tried to defend this guy, saying, well, they baited him, and you don't know what they said, and blah, 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 blah. And they were just the plants from Green Bay that were there to film something to make Eagle fans look bad. Well, this tells a different story. So whatever you want to make of it, you make of it. And on no proper planet should a grown man be grown enough to want to trade insults with a woman where he has to use the C word.
Yeah, I'm with you on this 100%. And people saying that he was trying to bait the Eagles fan. Somebody could have a hidden camera and trying to bait the hell out of me. I am never going to call a woman that. I'm never going to do it. So try to bait me. Like that, I don't understand it. You tried to bait the guy. The guy showed his true colors. Whether you're baiting him or not, he showed his true colors. Most decent human beings aren't going to respond that way.
All right, you're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show, WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. General knowledge today, winner gets a pair of Sixer tickets for the game against Cleveland, January 24th. One winner gets a pair of Metallica tickets for the Friday, May 23rd concert at Lincoln Financial Field. Both tickets are available, Sixers tickets at Sixers.com and Metallica shows via a Ticketmaster. And you're going to get two different sets on those Metallica concerts, 23rd and 25th, performing in the round at the 50-yard line. Openers each night. Limp Bizkit one night, Pantera the next night. But let's start the 1 o'clock hour with a testimonial from Bill on the brilliant head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni, who Bill has steadfastly defended as not getting enough credit. Even now, people still aren't willing to go for it. So, Bill, you've gotten all kinds of facts and figures that will prove that Nick Sirianni is a premier head coach who should get an extension with what he's done.
He should get an extension, and he should get the respect of Eagles fans. That's what I want. I want this coach to be respected as one of the best coaches in the NFL because that's who he's proven to be. Now, I've already told you that he's produced the third best winning percentage by a head coach during the Super Bowl era, okay? Well, let's talk about his home record because the Philadelphia Eagles have a home game on Sunday. Well, including the playoffs, since 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles under Nick Sirianni have the second best home winning percentage in the entire NFL. Are you ready for this, Eagles fans? The reason why I say you got to show respect is because what this man has delivered since 2022 in front of you at the link is a 24-5 record. That is a winning percentage of .828. It's second to only the Buffalo Bills, who've played one more game. So they're 25-5. So think about that, Mike. All these Eagles fans who can't stand Nick Sirianni, every time you've gone down to Lincoln Financial Field, you've seen the Philadelphia Eagles win 24 of the 29 times you've gone down there. So what are you hating on the guy for? He's also won 3 straight playoff games at Lincoln Financial Field, which is tied for the longest home winning streak by a head coach in Eagles postseason history. He joins Andy Reid and Dick Vermeil in that category. So show the man the respect. Put some respect on his name, Ray Dunn.
You don't know how this man grew up. He grew up in an ashram. He was an educated lawyer, and he led an entire country. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's Gandhi.
Listen,
let's go.
In the list of people, it's Gandhi and Jesus Christ, and then right underneath of them would be Nick Sirianni. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to use the Lord's name.
Yeah, seriously. I will say, there is a texter from earlier on that absolutely nailed it. I believe it was Joe in Jersey, well, I'll give the props to for this one, that said, I've been back on Sirianni for weeks. It's just the fact that I have to listen to Bill be insufferable about Sirianni that makes me not say it out loud. And then went on to finish the text with, hey, best of luck and good health with the delivery.
Yeah, and I don't know how the thank you. I do appreciate that. I mean, what's insufferable? Just give the guy the respect. I still have people, Mike, because I tweeted out before the show some Sirianni love. And I still had people underneath of the tweet and underneath the Instagram videos saying things like, he's still a clown. He's a puppet for Howie Roseman. I could coach this team. I mean, why? Why are there so much hate towards a guy that has just delivered win after win after win? Maybe you don't like his personality. Maybe you don't like the way he is in press conferences. But as a fan, isn't it about wins? And that's all this guy has done since he's gotten here.
After the season, when they win the Super Bowl, Nick Sirianni will lead a salt strike.
Man.
You have to know about Gandhi.
I know what there was.
Oh, you know what
I think I've seen the movie. I saw, who was it, Ben Kingsley, who played Gandhi?
Academy Award winner Ben Kingsley for that role.
Sir Ben, I believe.
One of the great movies ever. Let's go to Sean in Illinois. Sean, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Sean.
Gentlemen, I am so excited. I've been waiting 2 hours for this. I haven't been this excited since my daughter became a judge a year ago. Nick Sirianni Worship Day? This is what I've been waiting for all year. I am so fired up. I got to rattle a few things off, first of all.
Go ahead.
First of all, The Office rocks. That rapper sucked. That is the most important 2 things off the bat.
Come on, man.
I do not
Mr. Brown can't move. Pop, pop, pop.
I do not understand what all the hate about Jalen is from last week. 13 of 21, 61% completion rate, over 10 yards per pass, 2 passing TDs, no fumbles, no picks, took 2 sacks, 6 carries, averaged 6 yards a carry. What is the issue with these people? I just don't get it. And most importantly, we did the exercise last week. Was Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? Yes, we agreed he was. Is Nick Sirianni a top 10 coach? I think you'll agree with that, too, once you run the numbers. That's all I got. I'm excited for a general question, though.
All right, Sean. Here we go. We're in movie.
Good call, Sean. Good call.
We're in the movie characters category. I'll give you some hints here. The character's name is Derek Vineyard. It was played by Edward Norton, and it had some racial overtones to it.
American History X?
That is correct.
Oh!
American History X. Boom.
Once you gave him the racial part, I think it was a little easy.
I'm going to give Ray a character, and I'll give him some similar hints. The character's name is Detective Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry.
Yeah. Lowry.
Lowry. Yeah, give
me a pack of Bubblicious gum and some Skittles.
Ray?
Oh, my God, Ray. You're doing a horrible job over there, though.
I don't
Mike
know if
is
I'm going
messing
to
up.
a
I can't sing it. I can't sing it because the title's in the song.
Yeah, but you could do it like. Bum, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba, da,
He's not
That Bad Boys is all I got coming through that. That's the tune I got from you.
And you would be correct.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
Wait a minute.
Great stuff.
Wait a minute. Does he get credit?
No.
He just knew the name of the song, but not the movie.
Even with the name of the song, he goes, "That's all I got." He didn't even know that was the name of the movie.
I
know it's
X
a
it
movie.
out.
You're not getting it.
That's fine.
Bam.
Wait,
He's
you
out.
didn't know that Mike Lowry?
Mike Lowry.
And you didn't get what Mike was doing was imitating Martin Lawrence, who was trying to be Mike Lowry in the movie.
What's your name? Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry. Man, Ray.
Yeah, Ray's out. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5. The Fanatic. Bill has laid out the case for Nick Sirianni Worship Day right here on 97.5. The Fanatic. Mike Missanelli Show. The man I called a goof earlier in the season, now being worshipped by the majority of people, not all. Let's go back to the phones. Darren in Phoenixville. What's up, Darren?
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
You tell us, buddy.
So first thing, Dr. Seuss rapper, he was dope. That was a good pull. I don't think that people are realizing that he's reciting that book, right?
Yes. He's reciting it in rap style.
Right. I don't think they're realizing. He's how do we say it? He's walking on that joint.
Yeah, you know, maybe people didn't get that part of it. Yeah, he's just reading the book, but he's reading it with cadence.
Yeah, and it gave me a little Papoose. If any of you guys are familiar with Papoose from New York, it gave me a little Papoose vibes.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I know that there's this other guy, in Florida, Bill? This guy who asked for, give me some words.
Yeah, oh, man. What's his name again?
He's a street rapper, this guy.
He's so good.
And people give him words, and he incorporates it into a rhyme. It's pretty unbelievable if you've seen it on Twitter.
Harry Mack.
Okay.
Harry Mack? Yeah,
Harry Mack.
All right. But, yeah, so, and then, let me see, Sirianni. So, I'm with Bill. I mean, he deserves what, he deserves the contract. I don't think, like the one caller was saying, I don't think, it was a whole money thing, because look how WP turned out. I mean, they're going to get rid of you if they feel that it's the time to get rid of you. He's been here. He got us to a Super Bowl second year. Last year, I will admit, that epic collapse last year, he was getting on my nerves. Like some of his sideline, like his facial expression, I'm like, what is he doing? What is he thinking? But the turnaround this year, the bounce back is, that's what we needed to see, and I think it should just be all love for him. I mean, hey, if Bill's going to be going, Bill, you going to throw that song on today or what?
Yeah, he did it yesterday.
We'll do it on Monday after a big win.
In poor voice, and a lot of people were criticizing.
Is Bill going to make it back by Monday?
Well, if everything goes smoothly with the wife, let's hope, then I will be here Monday to react to hopefully a big win. So that's the plan right now.
All right, that's cool, man. Hey, Mike, one last thing before
yes,
that question. You weren't a 2.5. You weren't a 2.5 guy. That wasn't one of your 2.5 men. The sitcom.
He's saying you weren't a sitcom guy. Did you like 2.5 Men?
No.
The 2.5.
I was mildly amused by that Charlie Sheen one. What was that called with John Cryer?
That was 2.5 Men.
It is 2.5 Men?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, yeah, I thought that was actually cleverly written. So I was okay with that. But it's like sitcoms didn't do anything for me. I don't know why. I back in the day, I was a sitcom guy. Like, I was a big Sanford. I thought Sanford and Son was hilarious. I used to watch that all the time.
A little bit ahead of my time, a little bit before my time, but my group, my age group, we love Martin. That's our
Martin was fantastic, dude. Martin, that was hysterically funny. So yeah, I roll way back in the day with those sitcoms, but as I got older, I was more into dramas.
Yes, I was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Why are you a Fresh Prince guy?
Loved Fresh Prince.
Is definitely top 5.
Yeah, I wasn't good. I didn't rock with that Michael. What's his name? Show. Yeah, Michael Keaton. Michael P. What was it? Alex
Michael
Keaton.
P.
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Is that was? Yeah, I didn't watch that. Michael J. Fox was on
there.
Fox.
Yeah, that's back.
All right, man.
Hey, Mike, hey, Mike, that Wax Museum, you guys took me to Class Act, the movie with Kid and Play. If you guys ever get a chance, check that Class Act.
All right.
I'll have you cracking up when they're in the Wax Museum.
All right, I'll check it out. All right, here's your question. 20 years ago, this country announced it had nuclear weapons. 20 years ago.
Nuclear.
Nuclear weapons, this country.
Give me one more hint, Mike.
It's led by a guy with a bad flat top haircut.
South Korea?
No, not South Korea.
It's North Korea. Come on, man.
Man, we can't give that to you. You gave him a great hint, too.
I gave him a giveaway.
Oh, man. All right. Ray can take the lead here.
Ray can take the lead, but I don't think Ray is coming up big with this. Which company released the A380, the world's largest passenger aircraft?
Boeing.
Incorrect.
said country. Didn't you say country?
No, I'm sorry, company.
Oh.
No, company. Did I say company?
You did say company. All right, I thought you
Company
said
released
country.
the A3 world's largest. Airbus was the company.
Airbus.
All right.
We got a 2-2 game,
We're
right?
still status quo. Let's go to Mark in South Jersey. Mark, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mark.
Oh, how you doing, guys? I got to tell you, I've been listening to the show for a little bit now, and all the guys coming on here that are hating on Sirianni or dogging on Sirianni, you know who they remind me of? They remind me of the guys that they're at Thanksgiving dinner, and they yell at their daughters for something, and the daughter's husband steps in and says, no, you don't talk to my wife like that, and that's why they don't like Sirianni, because they get that same interaction from him. Like, it's one of those things, like, they just don't like getting talked to that way. Like, Sirianni chirping at fans at the Cleveland game, like he's saying, hey, we won the game. Like, I don't understand fans where they're like, oh, you know, the game's not fun to watch or the game's not exciting. Like, you're telling me right now that if I told you we win Super Bowl 59 and it was a 7-3 game, you're not going to be happy about that? Like, really? What are we talking about? And also, on another...
Of course they're going to be happy with that.
No, they're not.
Of course they're going to be happy with that. He won a Super Bowl. They're going to be happy with it.
Mike, we won 14 games this season. Sirianni
but they haven't won the.
out of his
hold
last
it,
13.
dude. They haven't won the Super Bowl yet. They haven't won the Super Bowl.
The only reason we lost that one game was because Jalen Hurts got knocked out. Like,
Mark, listen to me. They haven't won the Super Bowl yet. That's why people would have a reason to hold back.
we didn't win the Super Bowl for 50 years before that, and people were loving on Andy Reid.
No,
Like,
they weren't
come
loving.
on.
By the end, they weren't loving on Andy Reid. They criticized him constantly for his lack of passing game and the lack of linebackers and all that stuff.
And 4 years in, and how many NFC Conference Championship games?
It didn't matter. They were still criticizing Andy Reid. You don't remember those days.
This fan base doesn't know when it has it good, and they just like complaining because guess what? If you go to any of them and tell them, out of all of the coaches that are available right now for hire in the NFL, who do you take over Nick Sirianni? Like, you're going to take Mike McCarthy? Are we like you're going to take Rob Saleh? Like, come on.
I don't think that's the question. The question is, why are people holding back on him? They're holding back for a reason. Yeah, they might not like him. But if they win the Super Bowl, they're not going to hold back.
They're still not going to like him. Because
Stop
they're
it.
bitter.
See, now you're just,
I'm a little bit with Mark on this.
You're just being contrarian.
If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, a majority of people that don't like Nick will say, well, he had a great roster.
No, they won't.
He's got a great roster.
If you win the Super Bowl. Same with Doug Peterson. They love Doug Peterson. After he won a Super Bowl, he wasn't that great of a coach.
Yeah, but they never turned on Dougie P like they turned on that.
Dougie P never put his face mugging for the camera like that, like when he was a head bob. That's the thing. All the things that Sirianni's that's the thing that bothered me the most. Like, what are you, 14?
You see, the more we talk to Mike about it, the hate starts to come out.
There's no hate.
I think you're not going to give him the credit.
Right, let me give Mark a question here before I lose track.
Yeah,
Mark, these are NFL passing champions. All right. So, in the year 2008, this man, a locally bred quarterback from Westchester, who went to Westchester East High School, led the league with 4,770 yards passing. Who is he?
My first guess was Matt Ryan, but I feel like that's wrong.
That is wrong.
Yeah, that would have been my first guess, too, until you said Westchester.
So now Ray will get a chance to steal. Ray, 2009, 4,770 yards from Westchester, PA. Do you need the college he went to?
Sure, I'll take it.
Virginia. Westchester East High School. Wasn't that long ago. 2009. People are going crazy, driving around their car. They're yelling the guy's name at you.
They are yelling the guy's name. I'm sure
They're
they're
stump Ray with a football
perplexed.
question? A sports question he's getting stumped with?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Matt Schaub.
Oh.
Wow, Matt Schaub.
For the Houston Texans.
2009, really?
2009.
He actually had more passing yards than Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees,
that is
Brett Favre.
Such a violation, Ray.
Wow, I wouldn't have known that either.
I
Ray.
had him early 2010s. I knew he led the league in passing one year. I didn't think it was 2009.
And that Westchester hint?
Yeah, I had no idea it was from
you?
this area.
610-632-0975 back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Analyzing the passing game. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Cordell & Cordell, domestic litigation firm, is a partner you can count on. Call 866-323-7529 or visit CordellCordell.com. We're halfway through the week leading up to the NFC divisional round matchup between the Eagles and Rams. The storyline remains the Eagles' uneven passing performance on Sunday. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has come under scrutiny for his game plan. Met with the media yesterday to talk about that passing game's performance.
Passing game obviously wasn't our best performance. Certainly every person involved would love to have it be cleaner, and obviously that's sometimes how games go, unfortunately. Obviously something that we're all excited to navigate and find better answers moving forward.
Obviously something we'll have our eyes on come Sunday when the Eagles play the Rams at 3 o'clock at Lincoln Financial Field. Elsewhere, the 76ers without Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Barton, KJ Martin, and Andre Drummond lost 118-102 to the Thunder last night. They're back in action tonight against the Knicks. You can hear it live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers fell last night in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They now return to action tomorrow against the Islanders. I'm Ray Dunn, the home, the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Wednesday, January 15th.
It's not today. It's Nick Sirianni Worship Day. We're having happy times here on the show. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, of course. The Flyers last night. Is there hockey horn worthy last night?
Nah, it's a shootout.
I would
say
no.
But another point.
They got the all-important point. Meanwhile, the Sixers couldn't get enough points, playing the following starting lineup last night in front of paying audience that included our own Ray Dunn. Yabusele, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon. Combined age 80. Kelly Oubre, who, thanks for participating, Kelly. He was 2 for 10 last night, 0 for 4, a minus 25. And Ricky Council, the fourth, 5 for 15 and 1 for 8 last night in the ball game. But hey, I don't know. You got a chance to get a free T-shirt with the T-shirt gun.
Yeah, because it's looking more and more likely that after the Eagles win the Super Bowl in February, we get a couple of months of really not much going on. I mean, we'll have We're
going to be playing Monopoly live on the air.
Well,
That's what we're going to be doing.
We'll have NFL free agency, NFL draft, but normally the Sixers can carry us to at least when the Phillies start, but maybe we get the Flyers, man. They're only 5 points out of a wild card, 4 points out. There it is. Maybe we get some playoff hockey.
Look forward to me wrapping green eggs and ham.
Well, Mike hasn't been.
Future shows.
When was the last time you were at a Flyers game?
It's been a while.
All right. Well, you and I are going to go after the baby.
Last year when they opened that big top deck thing.
Gotcha. Well, when things settle down with the baby, you and I are going to go. I got center ice tickets. We'll sit at center ice.
Can I be sign man? Can I be that goof sign man?
That sign man guy is great.
Is that sign man guy?
He's at every game. Has great signs.
Deposit here. Come on, man. Come on with this dude.
Well, he's
been
one
doing it for like 40 years.
Was it his sign or somebody else's when Cutter Gauthier came? They put Cutter's face on Acuna, and they put Michkov's face on Bryce Harper for the infamous stare down. Did you see that one?
No, I missed it.
Oh, it was a great one. You saw that, Ray, right?
No, I didn't. I'm more intrigued by your pronunciation of Cutter Gauthier.
What do I call him? Gauthier? He doesn't deserve for me to learn how to say his name.
You're mistaken from the guy Gauthier, the singer.
Yeah, listen.
You like that song?
I am not. Yeah, I do like the song. I don't care to learn his name.
Gauthier.
Because today I've been saying that Nick Sirianni deserves everyone's respect. Cutter Gauthier does not deserve my respect.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts, man.
It drives me kind of nuts, too, when you mispronounce a guy's name.
All right, how do you say his last name?
Gauthier.
All right, so Cutter Gauthier does not deserve my respect.
All right, we are tied in general knowledge as we come down the home stretch here on Nick Sirianni Worship Day. You heard all the facts and figures. Bill's still a little peeved that people aren't in, and I disagree. They win a Super Bowl. There's nobody going to be saying, but they won a Super Bowl despite them. That's not going to happen. Joe in North Jersey, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Yes, how are you?
What's up, Joe?
I'm not even an Eagle fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I know you hate me, but I'm a realist. I would take Nick Sirianni. He deserves to come back and an extension for sure.
Well, he's going to get that. No matter what they do from this point, unless he's going to get an extension. Now, if they lose to the Rams, I'd be shocked, but that would leave a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouth if they lose this game.
I don't think they're going to lose.
I don't think they're going to lose either, but if they did, he's going to have to keep climbing uphill with this fan base.
Now, Joe, you're a Cowboys fan. You said you would take Sirianni. Would you take Kellen Moore? Because that's a real possibility.
I think I would, but you know what? I'm disgusted. You know, this owner is a joker. As long that's an owner problem over there. And, you know, as long as he's doing it the way he's doing it over there, they're not going to go nowhere.
Let me get into your biology here. You're from North Jersey, right? Why the Cowboy fan?
My father was in 71. Since 71. Believe it or not, I'm a Flyers fan since 72.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So you should be a Giants fan or a Jets fan, but you're a Cowboy fan because your father liked them in 71.
Yep. Been a Knicks boy since '71, and I've been.
This is a phenomenon that I just do not understand.
Yeah,
I mean, you're in the mecca of sports up in New York. You become a Cowboy fan up there? Like, I don't get it.
I can't stand New York. I live in Jersey. I don't live in New York.
Yeah, at least you don't sound like a New Yorker.
You like. But you like New Jersey? Do you like North Jersey? Do you ever go over the bridge?
Hate North Jersey. I've been up there
what are you doing there? Get out of there. You can move.
I got family up there right now, but 5 more years I'm retiring. I'm going to South Jersey.
Joe, someone on our YouTube chat wants to know, do you smoke Marlboro Reds?
I used to.
That's a good guess by the YouTube chat.
Joe, good luck with that migration down there to South Jersey where the weather's a lot warmer. So let me give you a general knowledge question here. All right, this is a general knowledge question. And the question is, what is the term for the first episode of a TV series?
The term for the first episode.
First episode of a TV series is called a what?
Sequel?
Oh, come on, man.
Sequel.
Come on.
Yeah, Ray would have got that.
Ray would have got that. Of course, the answer is pilot. Now, Ray, from the same category, Ray, within a 10-year time frame, I'm giving you a buffer. Yes, Senator. They were called buffers, Senator. What's that line from?
I don't know.
Come on, Willie Cheech is testifying in front of the Senate committee in Godfather 2.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, the family had a lot of buffers, Senator. That's embarrassing that you don't know that.
I guess it is.
In any event, within a 10-year time frame, give me the year when women were given the right to vote in the United States.
1924.
Within a 10-year time frame. 1920 was the actual year.
Good job, Ray.
Ray takes the lead as we come down the home stretch.
Good job, Raymond.
610-632-0975. You want to slide in, steal this away from Ray. Do we have anything on the text board that's worthy, Ray?
Got plenty on the text board.
What do we got?
What about the text bird? Do you have anything on that?
Did I say bird?
I think so.
My lips got tied up. I got big choppers. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. If Nicky S. doesn't win a Super Bowl this year and Laurie knows about the 5-year rule, he won't get an extension until after his 5th year. If you don't know what the 5-year rule is, look it up. I don't know what the 5-year rule is, but...
What's he talking about? What's the 5-year rule?
I don't know. He says that Laurie won't give it to him after 5 years. Has anyone brought up that the other coaches hired the same year as Nick? I think most of them have been let go. I guess Nick was the best choice, right, from Southampton.
I'm trying to look... I
guess he was the best choice. My question is, what on earth could you have possibly seen in Nick Sirianni, judging by his early, his early communication with the fan base? What could have been the communication in that room with Laurie and Howie Roseman that won them over? Like, what, he could not possibly have been savvy enough to win them over. So why did they go with him?
See, I disagree with you.
Oh, my God.
I disagree with you because after the Philadelphia Eagles made the disaster of hiring Chip Kelly, and you listen to Jeffrey Lurie when they fired Chip Kelly, and he gave that open up your heart and talked about emotional intelligence and all that, they brought in a guy like Doug Peterson, and it did work. Granted, it didn't work for an extended period of time, but it worked. It got them a Super Bowl. They wanted a coach that's going to connect with his players. And I think Sirianni, we've seen...
You thought that was going to... Early Sirianni was going to connect with his players?
Absolutely, because
what
the guy...
What are you talking about? He was all over the place like a goof.
The guy you see at press conferences is not who he really is. The guy connects with his players. In fact...
he's connected with his players now. He's learned. He's matured. Back then, he was an emotional all over the place.
Yeah, but you're saying he doesn't connect with his players. First year, they go to the playoffs. Second year, they go to the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about the interview. He could not have been come off as emotionally intelligent in that interview.
All right, and hold on before we hit the break. The 5-year rule. What I'm reading is no NFL team has ever started the same quarterback under the same head coach for more than 5 years and seen that duo win its first championship. So I'm assuming that's what the texter is saying, that they're not going to give Sirianni the extension because history would tell you if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, they won't win the Super Bowl more than 5 years.
Thank God you found it, because all I got was Roth IRA stuff on my 5-year rule search.
Oh.
I don't know what my
We're going to talk about
I'm doing.
we're going to talk about Roth IRAs coming up next.
Bill's a good searcher. He gets right to the point. He's got the golden fingertips.
I should have been a detective.
610-632-0975. We have news tonight. Oh, no. Joel Embiid is out tonight? Holy Christ. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. 44, Mike Missanelli Show. If you get a chance to read Tim McManus's story today on Nick Sirianni being such a player's coach and how he has cemented relationships with his players that people don't know about, where he calls them up into his office, talks about stuff that's in their personal life. He leaves them some notes. Jordan Mailata is one of the guys he's won over. He says, I'll do anything for that guy. And Isaiah Rodgers and Nakobe Dean talking about how proud he was of Dean for coming back from injuries to establish himself as an impact starter. And Dean says, I know of no NFL coaches doing that. When it comes to being for your players and having the utmost confidence and respect for your players, I think Nick Sirianni is second to none. Milton Williams' mom had cancer. He found out about it. He called Milton to his office to talk about it. He related how his dad went through the same thing. So these are like the little bonding things that he does with players. And I think it started this year when he became the CEO, and it started with his work with Jalen Hurts, where they kind of got on the same page. And listen, he's doing something right. I can't really define what it is, but I don't care at this point what it is. All I know is then what I read into this is that he makes his players comfortable enough, not to play for him and to go out, let's win one for Nick and win one for the Gipper, but he makes them feel good about their abilities to the point where they go out and they play to the best of their abilities, and that is the secret of a pretty good coach.
Yeah, and he's authentic and genuine with these guys, and I think they respect it. Another part of the article that I thought was interesting is Tim says part of Sirianni's leadership style is confronting issues when they come up rather than sweeping them under the rug. And they go all the way back to his introductory news conference, which was a disaster. And what was said in the article was Lane Johnson said right after the press conference, as soon as they had their first team meeting, Nick Sirianni got in front of the team and said, guys, that was bleeping terrible introduction. I'd like to do it over again, but I can't, but just so you're aware of it. And Lane Johnson says, I appreciate his honesty. He always knows, you always know where you stand with him. This goes a long way with professional athletes. And I know you've said before, professional athletes don't play for a guy, but they don't want someone who's faking it. They want a guy who's authentic in who they are. And that's what you get with Nick Sirianni. He's not pretending to be somebody. He's a fiery Italian guy who is a competitor. They talk about it in here too. He comes in to get his hair cut sometimes. He'll tell people, hey, you want to have a game of ping pong? And then it turns into 3 because he can't take losing. I think all of that trickles into your team. This is a good team. There's a reason why they win so many games under him. Gandhi. It's Gandhi and Nick Sirianni. It's close.
Gandhi. Let's go to the text board.
Somebody said I look like Gandhi in the YouTube chat. No, I'm growing the hair back. The hair's coming back.
Yeah, man, you got to get those round glasses and shave the hair completely and shave.
They're also asking if I'm getting
facial hair.
If I'm getting hair transplants. I wish. I don't have the scuttle for that. It's expensive these days, hair transplants.
Yeah, really?
It's not cheap. Unless you want to, you can go to, Turkey and get it done.
You got money. Made $7 million on that sale of your law firm.
Yeah, I wish.
All right, back to the text board. We have a Sirianni text. What we got here, Ray?
Yeah, we got Dino from California checking in. The problem is the majority of our fan base wants a trophy wife instead of a winner wife. She may not have Sports Illustrated centerfold looks, but she gets things done. This applies to Nick and Jalen. Come on, y'all. Be happy with what you got.
Be happy with an ugly woman. In other words.
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. You ever hear that song, right?
No, sorry.
That guy from Roadhouse, Red, he went in, married an ugly woman. All right. Let's go.
I don't get the comparison, though. Here's what I don't get the comparison on that and stuff that Mike's been saying, too. It's you got to build the resume. To me, it's 4 years of a resume from Nick Sirianni, and he's doing things that no other coaches have ever done other than Hall of Fame level coaches. Come on. At what point do you give the guy the respect he deserves?
It's not enough time. Bill in Wynwood, you're on 97.5 Fanatic. Bill.
First of all, you guys are really good as a group. The 3 of you really play off each other great. I love it.
Thank you, buddy.
I am ready to drive. Every time I drive down to the Sixers game, I'm ready to drive off the Walt Whitman Bridge. I can't take it. I need you to help me out here. There's two things that are bothering me. If you saw last night's game, for the second time, Nick Nurse did not counsel his players and tell them what to do, and a guy threw the ball into the backcourt when they weren't allowed to throw the ball into the backcourt, and we turned the ball over. That sounds minor, but there's a head coach after a timeout. That happened twice this season. The next thing is the Eagle fans, kids are playing, for the coach. Nobody's playing for Nurse. They're sitting out. Something's going on either with the medical or the nurse. Or Nurse. Help me out.
I got to be honest. The more I see this situation, and I see they have no desire to put guys in the lineup. They're always deferring to the injury. And I think these are injuries that guys can play with, right? The more I think about this, I think there's a plan inside to say, screw this season. It's just ridiculous that, like, every night there's somebody's going to be scratched. It's like, it's first of all, it's totally fraudulent that you could do this to your fan base. But I think deep inside, the whispers are, let's just get out of this season.
You know what, Mike? But it's not fair to, I'm a season ticket holder. I don't even drive to the games anymore because I don't want to see how many guys are out.
Literally, unfortunately, like that lineup last night is a joke. That you're starting in front of a fan base that you're expecting to come and pay for the ticket, and I know the tickets are getting peddled. I get all that, but come on,
Mike,
man,
they're not getting peddled. You can't. There's no selling.
Yeah, they're getting peddled for $3. People are going to take it for $3.
Right.
All right, man. It's a general knowledge question, brother.
Right, go ahead. I'll try. I'm 75 years old.
All right. Well, this is a movie question. All right, the movie character.
I'm in trouble.
Well, I don't think you're in trouble because this is kind of a sports movie. It's a funny movie. It's called, the character's Chubbs Peterson.
Oh.
Absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
you got a sequel coming.
You got to know this. All right, he's out.
Little Carl Weathers.
Yeah, there's Carl Weathers in
Finally found
Gilmore.
one for me.
You would
Happy
know?
Gilmore,
Yes.
Ray knew it.
When's the sequel coming out?
Ray? The character's name is Linus Caldwell. It was played by Matt Damon in a star-studded cast set in Las Vegas. It has a number in the title.
We got to get to closing arguments. I got nothing.
It has a body of water and a number in the title.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt.
I got nothing for you.
Oh, my God.
Ocean's 11?
It's Ocean's 11.
Is Ocean's 11 a sports movie?
Oh.
This was a sports movie category. I've got two questions about
sports movie category.
Yes, it was.
I said to the guy, this is a sports movie. It's not a sports movie category.
This was said to be a sports character thing. It was all sports characters till the 1 o'clock hour
It was just movie characters. Sometimes they were sports movies.
In Ray's defense, I was slightly confused at that as well. I thought they were sports movies, but I realized it a couple hours ago that they weren't.
1 o'clock was the first time we had it. Bad Boys was the first one. I had no idea why Bad Boys came up because Bad Boys isn't a sports movie.
Well, here's why you're
Neither
wrong.
was Derek Vineyard.
Star Wars wasn't one either.
All right, well, then from the beginning, I was off. No, that was a general knowledge question. That wasn't a sports question.
The excuses for his ignorance.
Wasn't a movie character.
It goes on and on.
It wasn't a movie character. If we didn't have to get to a sponsored thing, I would keep fighting this fight.
Here's my closing argument. Play it.
Closing arguments on the Mike Missanelli Show.
My closing argument is simply this.
Abrams Injury Attorneys. Injured in an accident, call 800-876-LAWYER or visit LowenthalAbrams.com.
Closing argument. Ray's is the dumbest smart guy I've ever seen in my life.
You said sports characters. I'm pulling the audio. I'll have it for you tomorrow.
I don't even have a closing argument, Bill. Go ahead. You come in.
Well, we're up against it, but the good news is Ray's going to be in this seat tomorrow.
Yes.
Down at the Philadelphia Auto Show.
Ray will be co-hosting with me tomorrow at the Auto Show.
Yes, and I'll check in when I can. I'll keep you guys updated, but appreciate everybody. Go Birds.
Have a great rest of the night. The winner of our tickets today, do we have anybody?
The two that got it correct.
The two that got it correctly.
I won, by the way.
Pair of Sixers tickets and Metallica tickets. Congratulations to whoever that is. Oh, it's Ish and Sean. Ish scores a pair of Sixer tickets. Good luck, Ish. Jeff Doughton's playing. Mike Missanelli Show. We'll see you tomorrow.